unpredictable. That is exactly what makes him very unpredictable. The fact that you don't know whether he's just being stupid or not.
I agree, but it wasn't about the IRGC. It was about the Iranian people, and they actually imagine you are told tonight you need to leave your house with your children. You have nowhere to go, and there were millions in the highways, in huge traffic. Because millions were living.
So he caused a little bit of anxiety. Forgive him.
So I'm just saying it was irresponsible, but other than this, yes, we can't criticize. It's okay.
All right, Buttercup. Does anything come to make you happy?
What are you talking
Find
about?
the one thing you can complain about. Daniel.
What do you think?
I don't know, he said Buttercup, but I didn't understand what he said afterwards.
I was comparing Daniel to Buttercup.
Oh. Never do this, Jeff. I never insulted you like this.
I love Daniel's new PTR. So cute.
I did it.
You're a toilet paper, Daniel.
I'm a sheep.
No, I didn't realize what that was.
Yeah, it's a toilet paper. He made those.
I make it this how my toilet paper is in my toilet. This one is a sheep that I created.
He's got a bunch of sheep looking at him when he's pooping.
I brought 30 like this to Israel, but the toilet paper here is different than in Berlin, so I need to basically do it in a different size.
Oh, it has a different roll size? Like the same?
Yes, I was living in the United States, and I think one of the first things that I noticed when I came back to Israel is the toilet paper is different.
I thought that was universal.
No. It has more girth here, which means less paper.
Dude, I love Trump. I really like what he's doing with everything, and I think he's so fucking brilliant.
Does he make you horny?
Yeah, he does. I've always said that he's hot. And I think the same of Netanyahu and Putin as well. Whether you love him or hate him, Putin is also a very good strategist. These guys are smart, and I am so happy to live in this time of history. I think it's thrilling.
Yeah, well, unless you're a Jew.
The problem with your foreign policy says you need to get laid.
The problem with what?
With your foreign policy is that you need to get laid.
My foreign leader.
I think you'd understand my point if you were sexually attracted to the leader of China.
No. Oh.
I'm going to send you some Chinese premier porn.
What about Yasser Arafat?
Oh,
no.
No, I truly feel that these three guys are super attractive. I am sapiosexual, so where I see competence and determination and strategy in a man, it's just wow. That's, to me, it's really hot. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're just.
So you like the Jews?
Huh? The what?
So you like the Jews?
Yeah, that's the reason why I always say that Mossad is super hot, and the IDF as well. It's that kind of thinking and intelligence. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, but have you ever dated a Jewish guy before?
Yeah, but for a short time in Guatemala. I was probably in my not early 20s. It was before coming to Europe. It was early 20s. I was probably 24 or something like that. It was just for a couple of months. It was more like a good friend of mine. But I didn't understand shit about Judaism. And honestly, I wasn't even aware of anything. I was just like a little Sophie.
Real quick, because go ahead.
I'm very much looking forward to see what happens. This is so fucking exciting. I don't know. I just hope that the Democrats really stay away from power for a couple of decades, so that all of these could be really cemented, in the minds of the people, and this kind of like free market, individual rights and stuff gets really cemented in the minds of people in the new generation, so that because if the next president is going to be a Democrat, all of this is going to go to shit again. There has to be some time where all of this kind of like settles before any other crazy people taking over.
Good luck with that.
Huh?
So good luck with that. I think you're going to be disappointed.
I hope not. Oh my god, and Marco Rubio is also super hot. Like, he is one of the most impressive guys in this administration.
He really is doing an amazing job.
Yeah. He should be Secretary of State forever.
No, you should be president.
No, I think he's more useful as the Secretary of State.
No, he needs to be president.
Happy
He
Eva!
wants to be president. He actually is endorsing JD.
He's not.
My
He
good
did
friend
already
Abby,
endorse JD.
your English is coming along so good. Your English skills are getting so good.
He's going to support JD's candidacy.
Yeah, that's fine. He said that, but he needs to run. He needs to be president. And J.D. Vance needs to be out of government.
JD Vance?
My God, why do you hate JD?
Yeah, what do you have with this JD Vance?
Because he's a fucking retard and an anti-Semite.
How is he an anti-Semite?
I've already covered this with you. He said, I'm really going to start calling you Dory.
Well, what
I
did you
don't
cover
think
this?
he's automatically an anti-Semite just because he says that anti-Semitism is not a big problem.
Oh, because of that. Dude, you throw out the anti-Semitism tag way too
Really? Who else in politics elected do I call an anti-Semite?
Mondani?
Don't gaslight the room about me. There's literally no one else in the elected office I call an anti-Semite. Not one.
When I had my
Well,
volume off,
I don't think that means that. Sorry, what?
I had my volume off. Who did we call that the Semite?
JD
J.D.
Vance.
Vance.
I'm not sure. I know why you would call him an anti-Semite. It definitely looks like it, but I think he's such a political weasel and just blows with the wind. I'm not sure if I can ever figure out what he really believes.
What religion is his wife? Is she a Hindu?
Hindu.
Yeah, she's an Hindu. And I'm fine with him hoping that she converts to Catholicism. I don't find that strange at all.
Well, didn't he marry her before he converted?
Well, he was Christian. He was a Protestant, and he converted to Catholicism after he was married.
Fine, so he wasn't so religious. He was Protestant. He didn't really care. And then
And he was a tap dancer.
his wife. Fine, but then he didn't divorce his wife after he started caring. That makes sense. That's not like,
I don't know that he was irreligious as a Protestant, though. He was just a Protestant. I think he was religious then.
well, he definitely wasn't religious enough
Yeah,
to make sure
Catholic,
that.
but being a Protestant is like, I don't know.
But he wasn't religious enough to care that what religion his wife was.
Apparently.
I don't understand that as an attack on him at all.
At the end of the day, he's another woke right faggot. And just like all the other woke right faggots that need to be pulled out of elected office, there's no role for them.
Here's my issue with him. He's afraid to
Does using the word faggot make you a homophobe?
and
Yes.
here's the problem.
But I did offer to be bought for a blowjob earlier today, so probably not so much.
The problem with him is he's afraid to push away the groypers because he wants this quote unquote pig tent, and more likely putting his finger on the one and trying to see what the party does. But he's pushing away all the people that joined, all the Latinos that joined, all the black people that joined. The Republican tent has gotten very large. And for these like in the basement people who actually propose voting for Kamala Harris because they're anarchists, he's giving up a much more important coalition. So call it what you want. He's not doing the Republican Party any favors by allowing the Civil War to fester.
Yeah, that's right. And he's an anti-Semite. And he's also disloyal to Trump at the end of the day.
Was anyone trying? Sorry.
No, we can move that off him. He's not loyal to anyone. He's a political weasel. He was a never Trumper until he became a MAGA, and then he'll switch again.
But so was Marco Rubio.
In a very different way. Marco Rubio had principled disagreements with Trump. Came around when the party switched, and here's where I disagree. Here's where I do agree. And when he does his job, he does it within his own philosophy. And he took the job in the administration. That is the Republican Party. The Republican Party is a coalition party. You don't have to agree with everything your boss does. Vance did it as a VP, which is different. He never admitted what changed. He never said, I really actually believe in this, but this is where the party is, which would be fine. He just floats around. If he was a Democrat, you'd be making fun of him in the exact same way I am.
I still like him. I think he would be a good president. I think he comes across as strong and determined, and I think that, well, I mean, the president is never the only one making the decisions. Like Trump, of course, has an amazing team around him. But if JD would be president, he would have the presence, and he would surround himself as well by a lot of people, potentially also Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is going to be in the government until he dies.
J.D. Vance is extremely intelligent. He's a very accomplished politician. He's going to go far. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not a respectable person. I respect Bernie Sanders more than I respect him. The guy's stuck on principle.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. He had his idea. It was terrible. Destroy America. He stuck with it. He didn't care when he was in total political isolation, independent from a state that nobody even remembered existed. He was the same guy when it became stronger. He ran up against Hillary Clinton and nearly won. It was cheated because he stuck with his idea from beginning to end. He never changed. J.D. Vance takes a poll every morning, looks at where the party is, and that becomes his position. Right now, we're in a populist moment, so he's the hillbilly elegy. Guarantee you, as soon as if this country would say we like elitists, he'd be telling everyone that he's a yoga. That's what he is. He's we've seen multiples of these politicians in the past.
He's a right-wing leftist. He's really not different than Mamdani. A really great speaker, looks good in a suit, and will lie to your face but do it in a very charismatic way. He's Republican Mamdani.
His entire speech at the convention, his opening speech, "Here who I am," said, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The government failed my mom and I'm going to come help you." The only difference between Mamdani and J.D. Vance is Mamdani wants the government to help cat ladies and he wants the government to help working moms. That's it. And both government interventionists, big government people.
Wow, I didn't know that you guys thought like this about JD.
Speaking of Mandavi, the New York Post today said that he wants to install bidets at the Greece Convention.
That's a wine, David, but I understand why you got confused.
Why do you call him Mandavi?
Not Mamdafi.
Yeah, he said he wants to install bidets at Greece Convention.
What?
Huh?
You know, bidets. It's kind of like a toilet, but backwards.
I don't understand that. Okay.
He wants to install bidets in Gracie Mansion.
Oh,
Correct.
and how? Okay.
I'm not sure this is actual news or if David's just trolling. And in either case, it really is irrelevant. It doesn't add anything to the conversation.
So, if Trump said that help is on its way, when do you think it will happen? Right?
Expected
Because yesterday,
sometime.
the Pentagon presented him with option, and I can assume that he selected an option, and then he tweeted that help is on its way. And I'm just wondering, when will this happen?
Have they been mobilizing some, how do you say, these big ships that they have parked around Yemen and all these places?
Not warship,
Yeah.
what do you call it?
I don't know.
Carrier?
Yeah, the carriers.
There are armadas. Where are those armadas?
They are not close yet. And if they move them, it will be noticed. And also to move the bombers, it will be noticed. But they have it will either be like a targeted, against the leaders of the regime, if they have eyes on them, or against some kind of a command center or a siege building or something like this. I don't think it would be a major strike.
Didn't Iran try to sink the USS Cole by using a small boat?
That was Al Qaeda.
Sorry, I couldn't participate. What did I miss?
And I know that in Israel they are preparing for that option of an attack.
Yeah, Israel said that they were going in as well. They were supporting Trump.
Yeah, well, we are kind of keeping quiet. It's just more preparing and being in sync with the Americans. But also, once they prepare to launch, we know that. So we will get a head notice before the alarms that there's a preparation. Now that they fuel up the rocket or they put the launchers out or stuff like this, we see this in advance.
You guys
And also, it
are,
takes time for them. Yeah.
you guys are like an angry cock, like the male chicken, just waiting for someone to tell you, let's go for a fight.
Rooster is.
No, actually, cock is fine. I'm fine with cock.
How
Who would have
is
thought? I said it's a rooster, not a cock.
A rooster, yeah, thank you. But cock is also the chicken.
Daniel, you're half right about Trump's meeting. He did select an option, but now they have to wait for Netanyahu to approve it.
I doubt it.
I saw that.
We all know the Jews run America.
I saw that President Trump did an interview with the New York Times, and he said any anti-Semites are not allowed in the MAGA movement. He said, "Get out."
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, but you cannot then call anti-Semites every single person that disagrees.
No, but most of them are anti-Semites. Maybe they don't know it. Maybe they don't hate Jews. But when you are filled with anti-Jewish propaganda. I don't hate Jews. My friends are Jewish. I just think the Jews control the world, the media, and are like
fine.
listen, Isa,
I think that anybody has the right to hate whoever they want, but you don't have the right to act and prevent someone from their rights. So I don't care if someone
I have a right
that they hate you with all their heart, but they don't have the right to go and impede you to do your rights, you know, and impeding your freedom and your
Everybody's talking about fucking rights.
Then
You got no fucking rights.
And when you're calling for violence for Jews,
They're made up.
100%, that should never be allowed.
Listen, guys, I'm so sorry, Isa. I'm truly sorry. I will just have to mention this. This is one sentence. Have you guys heard the new numbers of how many Iranians have been killed in the last 48 hours by the regime?
Yes, 12,000.
No,
More than 12,000.
Yeah,
our internet is also down, Vegas. We all live in holes, and we certainly aren't talking about the most pressing matter the world has.
Listen, 12,000. Minimum 12,000.
Yes, we already heard.
Yeah, we
What the
all
fuck
read
are
the
the
article.
You're
Palestine
not
now?
breaking any news.
Where were the guys who chanted for Palestine all these 2 years?
We all read the article at Iran International. We're up to date, Vegas.
Why would they? The Free Palestine movement is about taking down the West, and Iran is helping them. So they will not. This is why they don't sit out against Iran, because Iran is follow their axis. It's not about human rights, it's not about children dying or whatever. It's none of this. It's about destabilizing the West and taking down Israel.
One of the reasons why I think Iran is not going to work without boots on the ground is because they've been without any democratic institutions for way too long. The difference to me with Venezuela is that Venezuela still has a generation that has a memory of institutionalized democracy and working democratic institutions, and they will have like a transitional.
The difference between revolutions is 10 years. And at the end of the day, you can think what you want to think. No one is putting 150,000 boots on the ground. Like, well, you can think.
Listen, Jeff, if it's not happening, it's going to be a quagmire. And I would really prefer it not to be. And,
well,
you know,
a quagmire.
And that's very unfortunate. Because you need at least one new generation that understands how those institutions work and is willing to uphold them. I mean, it's the same problem with Eastern Europe.
America.
When Germany fell down, they needed to impose like a very strict type of institutionalized democratic process, and that's why Poland has, it had an internal memory also, and it had basically a shadow government that was working along with Soviets. So their transition was much easier, and they have much better results than, let's say, like Czech Republic, for example.
We got pork in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what I expect is the revolution hopefully will work. And if that works, I think you'll see some period of fragmentation of Iran, some level of lack of stability. And in 10 years, we may get back to a stable region there. But it's the price that has to be paid in order to get to progress or to get the stability in the region.
I mean, what I'm afraid of, Jeff, and that's obviously the worst case scenarios I'm looking at, is the power vacuum that is filled by Iran's neighbors, and then their regimes are installed, but because Iranians will be looked at as a second-rate citizens, is basically going to be like, the good old 17th and 18th century colonization, or the internal, since there's no memory of the internal democratic institutions, like the new power, whoever it is going to come in and do the same kind of shit, just under a different flag. as the theocracy of.
I take issue with your basic foundational assumption that there's no memory. You're talking about revolutions that are literally, I could double check, 20 years apart. Like, yeah, the folks who were free in Iran are in their 60s and 70s, but they're still there. Like, they still taught their children what Iran used to be. I mean, all you have to do is talk to any Iranian, not even in Iran. These people are brought up with, they know that history, all of them. Like, so much better than any of us do from wherever our parents came from. This assumption they don't know democratic history. Fine, guess what? They might not be a democracy, and that's okay. It's okay. They might not be a democracy. They might have some other form of government that works for them until they choose democracy. The important thing is to get rid of these evil animals. Then we can move forward from there.
Yeah, I'm just a bit, given the historical precedent, I'm a little bit pessimistic if the United States or Israel not going to take over that region and install some sort of controlled environment.
I mean, they're not Arabs. That's the only thing I can say. They're not Arabs. They won't accept an installed leader. Like, you can't think of them like they're Arabs.
I got you. I mean, I'm not talking about installed leader per se. I'm talking about the infrastructure that is controlled by, somebody else who is kind of teaching the institution to the population. I mean, they do have, I absolutely grant you, they do have intention, the motivation to transition, but they do not have a place.
That the United States and Israel will assist with.
Because they never had democracy in the region, and democracy is a contingent on the.
They may not want democracy, Andre. Why
fucking Western.
If they choose democracy, the United States and Israel will be there to help them institute it. What will not happen is the 250,000 boots on the ground to direct traffic and force democracy down their throats. But if they're ready to build institutions and need help writing a constitution, the United States will be there. If they want to try to build waterworks, so Tehran's not on the point of a drought, they have to talk about who will be the capital. Israel will be there to help them be sailors. So that help will be there. It's a very, very big difference in Iraq.
It's nothing like Iraq or Afghanistan or any other thing.
Because I'm not fucking Arab.
Choose democracy, but that's a guess. We'll see. I think
so too.
I think it'll be like a constitutional democracy. I think it's going to have the institution of a king. They had that for thousands of years. They're not the United States, but I think there will be ultimately a level of democracy.
That's what I was thinking. Some sort of constitutional monarchy or something like that.
How many religious minorities do they have in Iran?
Half the country is minorities. The lowest 50% of the country is Persian.
Okay, so they have ethnic division. They have religious.
They don't have ethnic division. They don't.
I mean, wait, hold on. Some of the people, from what I understand, some of the people are Persian. Some of the people are Arab.
Yeah, but there's Kurds. There's Arab.
So there's Lars. There's Balochis. There's
but you have to understand. There's Azeris. But there's ethnic diversity. But they were a country for a very, very long time. There's strong nationalism. The Kurds, the Persians, the Azeris, they consider themselves Iranian. So that's a big difference than saying ethnic strife like Serbia.
Wait, Persians are not Arabs?
Most of them are not Arabs, no.
There was the one area in the Middle East that refused to Arab.
It's the thing that, once again, what worries me, because that whole region is very much tribalistic. And I wonder how much of that.
Andre, you really have to stop thinking. You have to really stop thinking of them like they're Arabs, because everything is wrong. You're saying because you think they're Arabs. They're not a tribal society. They are not a tribal society. They're not Arabs.
Jeff, what I'm saying is, if you have Arabs in the mix, they will be tribalistic. Don't you think so?
Arabs are 11% of the population. They're among the poorest. They live in the hinterlands. You want to make it fit into a neat narrative, well, you need to do some research on it.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if this can be right in there. But no, that's my prediction.
And in fairness, I have to say, I think it's the first time I've ever thought you were dead wrong on anything, to this degree. So I'm sorry I'm being short with you, because I actually do respect you on most things, very much. But you're dead wrong on every part of how you're trying to understand this.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm frustrated with people that compare everything to Iraq, so I got a little short there also, but I do respect your opinion, and I think it's just miseducation of this particular part of the region. And I don't know, this PTSD from Iraq, that every single involvement has to be compared to Iraq, and is just getting to a level that...
No, I totally, Mayor, I totally get it. And the thing is, I don't have PTSD from Iraq because I'm actually... I thought it was a good thing. I just think it was handled poorly on the end portion of it. But I think it was a necessary thing to do. I'm not isolationist. I'm interventionist for sure. And I don't think the United States should shy away from being a maritime empire. There's nothing bad about it.
What could go wrong?
Well, listen, I understand the Great Britain as an example, as a poor example of that type of approach, but I also think the United States have learned from British mistakes.
Yeah, I think I also have a visceral reaction to this Western idea that everything needs to immediately be a democracy. It's not culturally sensitive at all. And there are a lot of things between a democracy and what the IRGC is that we can find acceptable, and that would be a hell of a lot better for the Iranian people. So this idea that we make it black and white, good and bad, I think it's contrary to a solution for the problems of today. And I think it makes it harder for the people who actually want a revolution or want progress when we kind of paint it as, well, you can be a democracy or you can live with the people gunning you down in the streets.
What sometimes worries me is that also, just like with the Ukrainian example, right? People wanted on the surface to have...
Exactly. It's got nothing to do with Iran. It's got to do with fucking Ukraine. Put the boots on the ground in Ukraine is what he's saying. Bitch, damn, he lost everything in Ukraine.
But in general, the paradigm, the internal paradigm has not shifted, or has not shifted yet. And so all the old problems are coming out to play. This is why the process is extremely difficult, especially in the process of war. And so, any kind of society that is going through that transition is always a difficult period. It's always sometimes even bloody period. And just minimizing it, I think, should be a goal.
Hello, Mocho. I am very excited about the potential future of Iran, actually, and Venezuela. I don't know. I think that this is going to change the panorama so much around the world.
Well, can you give me a brief of what's happening in Iran? I mean, I think that my understanding is people are protesting and they want to, live more democratically. Is that true?
Have you read the news, or are you expecting for us to do the job for you?
Well, I was expecting a brief on it. But no, it's okay if you don't want to give me. I'll read it.
Somewhere between 4,000 and 12,000 protesters have been gunned down in the streets over the last 4 days.
Yikes. Yeah,
but then you should go read.
Yeah, I'll read it. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. Thanks.
Compared to 2022, is your faith that something's going to change just based on the larger scale of casualties?
It's not only a larger scale, dude. 2022 was about the hijabs. And people were protesting because it was something internal and we don't want to be oppressed, whatever. This time, it's about change, regime change. The whole country is mobilizing. They're putting their lives on the table, and right now they know that that the US and Israel both have got their backs. I think that this time is serious. This is the closest that they will be in the near future to have an opportunity like this.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey guys. So I think it's to be fair, not everyone that is on the streets, and I'm saying this as a Persian, necessarily went on the streets because they want regime change. It started with the protesters in the bazaar. The rial is basically worthless at this point. People have no water, people have no money. And for a lot of them, it's basically about that. So it's convoluted, and now it's obviously made popularized on social media, and it became mainly about regime change. But initially, this is not why the people went on the streets. But obviously, this is what a lot of them are demanding right now. So it's really complex and complicated. I know that the hardcore monarchists say everyone on the street is calling Pahlavi's name and things like that. It's not black and white like that.
Yeah, I agree with you, but in the end, it's multi-layered. But in the end, this is what they kind of end up wanting. There might be different views, I think, on why people are doing it, but I think that all of them agree that they want to stop living like that.
Correct, yeah.
And it's exciting. I think it's I see them as heroes right now. All these people knowing how evil and thugs the IRGC are, and still wanting to put their lives at risk and going out, knowing that they can be killed, that there's a high possibility for them being killed, is massive.
So this is actually one of the main differences compared to other protests in the past. Not just the wide scale in terms of not the numbers, but the amount of cities that are now involved, especially Tehran. People in the outskirts of Iran would always kind of make fun of. Sorry, I got a phone call. Do you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So people in past protests used to make fun of Tehran's population because they would rarely join in, right? And now you see protests in major cities Tehran, Mashhad. This is significant. Not that it doesn't matter when people in the outskirts go on the streets in smaller cities. Of course it matters, but the major cities matter, right? Tehran matters. Mashhad, and like the big cities, and that's what we're seeing now. And secondly, what you touched upon, Isa, is the fearlessness that we see in this round of protests more so than ever before, where people are like, we just don't care anymore. If we die, we die, and we didn't see that as much in the past.
It's very inspiring.
What was the Iraq argument that was like shut down before? When someone was like, I hate hearing it compared to Iraq. Is that like the power vacuum extremist argument?
Well, yes and no, because the thing with Iraq is like, they wanted to bring down Saddam, and the U.S. helped them do that, but they never really, the whole thing got stuck. And also I think that U.S. had like a lot of boots on the ground. And so that is what I don't think is going to happen in Iran. I don't think that the U.S. is going to take over the control of the government. I think they will kind of help them, but not necessarily intervene too much. But I don't know. It's just my hunch.
But if you support a coup without providing resources after the coup, that's where America did that in Iraq. It just ended up being like a never-ending process.
Yeah, that's the exact argument that got shut down.
What did you say?
That was just restating what Andre said. The problem isn't taking out the dictator. The problem is not supporting the establishment of order afterwards. And it's all based on confusing Iranians as Arabs. They're not Arabs. They're going to figure out their solution. They don't need us.
No, yeah, I think they also have
only work backwards.
They also have a far more functioning government and military. I don't think that power vacuum will happen. Whoever is the next leader of Iran, it might not be democratically elected. It might be someone who is picked at the end of the day. I think that they have a lot more hopes for success than whoever our hand-picked puppets were in Iraq. Far less superior Air Force, Army, etc. So, I get the argument that it's a false equivalent, but...
Yeah, the real question has to be, how do we best support a viable path to a stable Iran in the nearest future? And, Iraq is not a model that should be taken as terribly informative in that conversation, because there are incredible differences between the two societies.
I meant more of an infrastructure possibility, because I'm assuming the borders between Iraq and Afghanistan that Iran shares with them, I'm assuming those are heavily monitored, right?
I don't know about heavily. I think you also have a lot of very well-established Iranians in the West who, interestingly enough, are at an age where they can go spend 6 months or a year to go help. It's premature to talk about that, but most of my Iranian friends are just retired or are bored looking for things to do. That's interesting.
You know the old kind of happy joke about Persians and they all drive white Mercedes and they refuse to call themselves Iranian. Are most Persians are from what would be considered modern day Iran, right?
Yeah.
And they've been a very successful community in America.
And the Persians would like to drive BMW, not Mercedes.
Iranians, yeah.
But they are white BMWs, right, David?
Last year when I was in Silicon Valley, I met a lot of Iranians actually there that are very involved in big tech and big venture capitalist funds. Iranians are amazing. Iranians are very educated. They're not the typical Arab, as Jeff was saying. They're not Arabs.
Yeah, wasn't it back in like the 70s or like 80s when like Iran had like independent colleges and
they still have that.
In fact, do you remember, Jeff, that I tell you that I work with a couple of Qatari companies? Well, the guys, the founders of these two startups, they're Iranian actually. They're not Qataris. They're not Arabs. They're Iranians.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, no, Pat, Iran has one of the most educated workforces in the world.
Yeah, no, it's but it got like religiously oppressed like during like the 70s, right?
Yeah, but that didn't mean that they didn't invest in education. Women still go to college. They just have to go in burqas.
Yeah.
And this is, I think that Iran might have the larger amount or the larger colony, kind of like that, of ex-Muslims, right?
I think the last numbers that seemed actually reliable-ish were that only 20% of Iranians in Iran consider themselves to be Muslim.
Exactly, and it's a Muslim country, so everyone is against that because they're thinkers, and it's not because of hate or anything. They're born Muslim, but they educate themselves, they read, they understand, and they reject the religion.
I just remember one thing that stood out at the last World Cup was that the Iranian women who were in the audience were fucking beautiful. They were Latinas with like green eyes, and like I was like what?
Yeah, like Chava. And Yael.
Well,
Yael's like a quarter, but yes.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
And unlike Latinas, you probably wouldn't have to worry about like an Iranian chick stabbing you.
Yes, you would.
Oh, you would?
Yes, you would.
All right.
Yes, don't make me clarify.
Still worth it. Still worth it.
Iranian women are the Puerto Ricans of the Middle East
with green eyes.
Amazing.
Yeah. I can't say anything more. I signed an NDA.
Yeah. Roya is Iranian as well, right?
Yep.
Who else is
I
Iranian?
didn't say that. You did. Hope.
Oh, Hope?
Hope is half, yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know this.
Yes.
Yeah, there are many Iranians in the app. All of them.
Rumor is Iranian. Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't know that either. I thought he was Indian.
Half Indian, half Iranian.
Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of Iranians. There is this guy that I used to talk to very, very seldom times, but he was very interesting. His name is Camille. He used to come to your rooms as well. That looks like Clark Kent. What? You remember Camille?
I'm not remembering that guy.
Well, he is Iranian as well. Very well educated and interesting. Very quiet, but very interesting when he would speak.
They're basically all very well educated.
Crazy idea.
Yeah, look at Samson as well. Samson is Iranian.
Crazy idea on some regime changes. Well, like, and at least I'm not like regurgitating 30,000. It's a completely unique thought. But like, imagine like Iran's regime is overthrown, and they're like, who's going to be next to guide us? Imagine the people who like immigrated from places like that, who like came to other societies, did well, and were successful in life, and they ran like we pitched. So like in America, I'm sure we have like 4 Iranian or Persian immigrants who were successful in America, and we could put those up for nomination. And England probably has a couple, and France, and like there's probably like successful Iranians who had to leave because of they were worried about being persecuted, and they can come home like the conquering heroes, and they can be elected. Like they have to go and pitch to the people, and like American, like and there's like I feel like that regime change would be beneficial to like the Western world and its allies.
I mean, we need to start with virtually any replacement is going to be better than what they had.
Yeah, exactly. But then also, like, why not make it be beneficial? You know?
Well, I mean, first of all, it will be beneficial. You know, importing a bunch of big fish from small ponds who haven't been in the country for 60 years. I mean, look, what you're doing is basically what the plan is, what you're suggesting. It's Reza Shah has, for all intents and purposes, been an American for most of his life. He still has an accent, but most likely that's because he chooses to keep it. Right? Like, I think he was, 17 when he moved to America? So, I mean, that's essentially the transition plan is to bring back some of the previous folks to help with the transition.
Something that gives consistency to the people in Iran as well, something that they sort of know, and someone that they already know, you know, and I don't know, I think it's necessary to feel a little bit of stability. That will help a lot, actually.
I think ultimately they need to land on some federal system, some weak confederacy where you have a very weak federal government and a lot of independence for the various regions that they can all still be Iranian, but they can do it their way to a certain degree. That probably is the most powerful combination for these people, at least initially.
Yeah.
Andre got playing like a bitch.
Is anyone here friends with Emerald and can finger M?
No, but I saw her before in this room.
Yeah, I meet her in,
for a little bit.
I meet her in rooms when she gets like now. Yesterday was in Buttercup room, and now in Lumi and Prince. So they do like a Palis versus Zionist, where when I speak literally, whenever I unmic and they say I will give you time 1.5 minutes. So after 1.5 minutes, one time I got, she gets like 5 minutes, and then when I come to reply, I get 1.5 minutes. After like 3 seconds, like 3 people jump on me, and then it removes me down because I continue speaking while they're speaking. So I invited her if she wants to have a fair debate, but I cannot invite her to a room, unfortunately.
Okay, so I saw her yesterday in Buttercup's room, and I opened her profile, and I was not following her, but apparently my other profile is following her. So she's friends with the other Eva. Let me see if I can get in here with my other.
Hold on, maybe I can find her.
So I can ping her in. Because my other account for sure is following her, because I noticed that yesterday. she's an anti-Zionist Israeli, so she is from Israel.
Who are you talking about? What's her name?
I don't know, but she and Buttercup became close yesterday. Good friends.
She's disgusting. She's notorious from X.
I don't know what's her name.
Just Ambrose. That's what she goes by.
Oh, Ambrose.
Does she live in Israel or does she live in the U.S.?
Israel. She's the epitome of a self-hating Jew. She might as well be the spawn of Amos.
No, Amos's kids are normal. I hate him.
I don't think that Amos is necessarily anti-Zionist, but he is naive. Like, he wants everybody to get along and whatever. I don't know.
He's none of those things. He's just a narcissist who wants his opinion to be the only valid opinion. If it was unpopular to be a far-right Zionist, that's what he would be.
Yeah, but he's not very good at it. Like, he doesn't come up with good arguments and like thought-provoking and challenging. He just spews nonsense.
Yeah, he's the left version of Shuki.
Yeah, Shuki spews nonsense as well.
Is he still on this app?
No, thank God, he's an ethnically cleansed.
I like Shuki when it comes to Emrose. He can take her. Emrose made a big name for herself. You guys all remember Nelson on the app, right? Well, when Nelson moved over to X and he was doing huge, hundreds, like thousands of people on his room, and he was giving everyone every single day. Like, Nelson went from, he was really doing good and learning a lot, having a lot of large people, obviously, like top mentors on the stage, and then I was, and it was so viral.
Her Magen David is short of point.
Yeah. Everything is short of point. Armageddon really lose, yeah.
Okay, I just gave her in with my R account.
She's so mid.
Oh
I
my
think she
God,
calls her
Madruta
Instagram.
is here. It's time to end the room.
What does it mean?
Oh,
I don't know.
he's not that bad.
He's one of those.
I'm making more juice today. I'm heading to the mitzvah right now. Mazel tov. Yeah.
Tomorrow there's a huge demonstration in Israel to support the Iranian people.
Oh, nice.
And I think there's one in New York City.
Not in the Matrix, but I was gonna say that I prefer Buttercup over Matt.
Oh. That's
Did
Buttercup
have another name? Did Buttercup have another name?
The Antichrist.
She's sort of new, Illumi. She came in August. So that's the only name she's had.
It's like her
But there's a girl that has the same voice.
But her voice sounds...
Yeah, because she sounds like Elle.
There's a girl called, like, Bubbles.
Bubbles.
They have the
Yeah,
same
she
voice.
was Elle. Her name is Elle. Yeah. She was before Elle.
Or as Amos says, Bubbles. Seriously, this is how it goes.
She doesn't
He doesn't even know what. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
But I went into her room yesterday as I guess it was ending, and she apparently thought I was someone else, but she doesn't know me. And she looked at my profile, and I have nothing on my profile, yet she's so determined. Oh, it's a pro-Israel Olimi. And it's like, okay.
Well, yesterday,
you are shitting on Mamdani, so one can assume that you don't hate the Jews.
He used to have to pay for that before he was married. He shit on his chest.
I mean, technically, I'm not shitting on him. I'm just highlighting his own,
accomplishments.
Yeah.
I think that my best Buttercup moment was when she didn't really know me, but she hated me already. She came into our room and said, Isa, do you think that you're more Jewish than me? And I'm like, no, because I'm not Jewish. But she formed herself a whole puzzle in her head about me. And I thought that was hilarious.
But he said the answer is yes.
But probably yes. Yesterday, whenever like the Zionist came on stage, she introduced him as a patch-faced actor. Everybody. She's really like a sick woman. Like seriously, like sick in the head. Not sick as in like sick. Like there's something wrong with her.
I called it. I have a lot of history with sick women. I can see them from a mile away. I'm an actor with sick women. Sick people, I guess.
I said Palestinianism, and Amber said, don't say Palestinianism. Then I said Israeli Arab. Don't say Israeli Arabs. Like, bitch. Like, what do you want?
People.
It's a Zionist term.
You know, last night I was listening to you for what seemed like hours, Daniel, in Amir's room.
Sometimes I feel like...
You remind me of a young Norm.
Me? Yesterday? Today?
Last night.
In the morning.
Norm went hours without talking. Well, I wasn't in the room. I was listening to John Kitover's feed. Hours. It's about 10 hours of it.
I can speak for hours. I cannot speak hours in Amir's room.
No,
not
he
allowed.
speaks for like 30 seconds.
Yes, I don't speak for hours.
Over him, and you kept on, then you got a few phone calls, then you came back.
Yes. Yeah.
And one part of it,
this morning.
I wanted to say, and I didn't want you to take this the wrong way, something I've said before, I hate you because you're better than me, and I don't like that.
But I'm fighting for you. Thank you, but I'm fighting for you too. I'm fighting for both. I'm on your team.
I accept that, and I agree, and I appreciate it enormously. But, I like to be the best. And then the other thing is, I actually could see that he was annoying you a little bit because this part of you, this is such an interesting part of the Jewish people. You're actually trying to be reasonable against all
Peter said alarm for 12:10.
I asked them, what does from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, how does it go in Arabic? And they would just say, it's not from the water and water. Okay, forget about it. How does it end? Palestine Arabia or not? They wouldn't answer it. I asked it like 20 times. There were many Arab speakers. None of them told me because they knew that once they tell me, it will expose their real narrative, which is they are Arabs, not Palestinians, which is what Ambrose doesn't like. The reason that I call Israeli Arabs is because there were no Palestinians when they became Israeli Arabs. They were Arabs. They were called Arabs of Palestine. And then they became Arabs of Israel.
No, my grandmother was Palestinian. Sorry.
But wait, do they say that Palestinians are not Arab?
No, but they are.
Yes, they say that if we say Palestinians, we deny their identity.
Their humanity.
If we say Arabs, I'm sorry.
How dare you deny their identity they made up in 1966?
Yeah, Johnny was like that.
And then she said something amazing. This is the sentence that she said. I wrote it down. I'm not sure that she even understood what she said. Palestinians, yes, are the Jews of the Middle East. This is what she said.
What does it
Very
mean?
good. I think Jews are Jews.
Basically, like, exactly. But she missed that part, okay? Basically, like, prosecuted, yada, 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 like they are the victims or the prosecuted group. But the Jews of the Middle East are the Jews of the Middle East. Like, what it's talking about? You forgot about your nation?
Daniel, I think you misunderstood her point. I think she was saying to the extent that they are, in fact, legitimately Palestinians, it's because their ancestors were Jews who converted. I think she was actually taking a very pro-Zionist move with that.
I don't know what she was thinking. I don't think she thinks. It's talking points. It's like a meal. Havana agreement. Who coined the term Mizrahi? Who said anti-Semitism? Who coined the term anti-Semitism? And he was married to it. Like, it's the same talking point over and over and over and over. And it has nothing to do with what you say. I'm talking about something like about the Jews were kicked out from Arab countries. Yeah, I said like 1 million Jews were kicked out from Arab countries. Yeah, but who coined the term Mizrahi? It's Israel that coined it. I'm like, Mizrahi is a word that means from the east. Mizrach is east. Mizrahi is an eastern. Someone came from the east. It's in Hebrew. Israel invented it because Israel is the only one speaking Hebrew and it was about her own people. But it has nothing to do with the fact that 1 million Jews were ethnically cleansed during the so-called Nakba. We just didn't brand it as a Nakba and kept on being like miserable for decades.
What point is he trying to make with Mizrahi?
He doesn't have a point. It's talking points. He's not having a point. He's like, and then he's like, it's Israel. Okay, so what's your point? Basically, I don't even know. Basically, he's trying to ask something, get a stupid answer, and then kind of, I'm right, you're wrong, you're stupid. Basically, this is what he says.
If I hear one more liberal white woman in America compare her struggle to fucking Iranians, I think I'm going to fucking go ballistic. I literally can't. These people, like, you let me know when there's body bags lined up in your fucking city, dipshit. Unfucking rich.
Could you ping me, please, if that happens? Would you mind?
God damn. I mean, these people are, like, literally, you compared your struggle to Iranians? Are you shitting me? Ma'am, you'll be able to vote. You get that?
When someone gets on your wrong side, you start to tear them a new one. I feel like saying, "Oh, you don't want to do that" to the guy doing it. It's like, "Oh, that's a bad idea." Maybe you want to think about that.
These are women, Norm. These are women who are commenting. You know, people are sharing their heartfelt posts. Most of them are Iranian or have friends that are Iranian. They're sharing their heartfelt posts, and just, you can feel the emotions. And, you know, rightfully so, calling out the Western media, the UN, like, where are you? Where are you? The silence is loud and clear. And what do these women do in the comment section? We're fighting our own struggle. We're fighting for our own freedom. Are you fucking kidding me? like totally. These are people who claim to be intelligent.
Divorced from reality completely.
Anywho, okay.
If it makes you feel any better, they're not actually intelligent.
Well, no shit. I'm like, are you literally comparing your struggle? Are you kidding me?
Oh oh my God, my welfare ended after 72 weeks. I'm just like an Iranian woman.
My Starbucks is closed. Oh dear. Yeah, that's what they were saying. They're saying, oh, we understand your pain because we're also living under a dictatorship with Trump. But at least you had a good man and whatever. Basically, they're saying that they're worse off in the U.S. than they are in Venezuela or Iran. It's ridiculous.
How come I don't see any of this stuff? I think that's anti-Semitic.
The fact that you don't see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm living with a kid who is obsessed with the problems with ICE, and she is participating in marches. I didn't know it. She flew to New York, not recently, but she went to march in New York, probably Detroit. She's marched in Bentonville, and I'm not in. I'm sorry, that's a problem. I am just flabbergasted that we want to say that you shouldn't have picked up Maduro. Okay, but this is not my main point.
Is this your doctor, Shirley?
Yes, she is driving me crazy, Norm.
Subscribe to the live now.
If she was
The revolution of Iran begins now.
It just turns out that you found out she was retarded in her 40s. So just accept it. You can't fix it. You can't change it.
Okay, but moving past that, we've heard this complaint from me many times.
Yes.
To my point, I have always just thought, when I first met Norm and Daniel, I thought, my God, why are you people arguing with these retarded people? And then I decided that you're right, because when I was young, all the boys. Well, I thought that in the Christian faith, we have apologetics, and the boys all loved apologetics and loved being able to argue. It turns out it was a right thing. It was right for them to be able to understand their position and be able to argue their position. Because right now, we have on Instagram and other social media places, we have Islamists on the internet trying to say that they are the same as Christians, that they love Jesus. It is the biggest, that is not true. Can you hear me?
It's called Padilla. They would say anything to advance their ideology, which is about taking basically land, Muslim land. And once the land is Muslim land, it's forever Muslim land, and whatever is not Muslim land is
yes. Well, and our prophet is that we believe is actually God, and our children should need to understand that, and they should be able to argue it and know why we believe that. And to do that, you have to be in a church that actually teaches the Old Testament. And we're failing. I went to a church with my daughter where they got up and talked. The birth of Christ was not mentioned, and they were talking about the housing problem in Bentonville. Okay, Bentonville has turned into a very rich community. Okay, and if you can't afford to live in Bentonville, you have to live in the town next door. I'm sorry. And that was the conversation. That was the pastor's talk on the day where we're supposed to be celebrating and teaching our children about the birth of Christ. The Christians are illiterate, and they're not able to argue their position. So good on you, Norm and Daniel. Keep it up.
I'll make you a deal, Shirley. After we successfully contain the Islamic threat, we'll come fix Christianity.
Well, see, there's this thing about Judaism. You actually do learn scripture, do it. And you can argue with one another. These people are not even being taught the scripture. It's a problem. Come fix it, Jeff.
The funny thing is we really don't rely on scripture in the same way as Christians or Muslims do. We really don't learn. We read it, and then at that point we discuss for understanding, not for, Timothy 1:6 says, blah, 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 and therefore I'm right. Our approach to scripture actually is very different than Christians and Muslims.
Jeff, I see your point, and you can't just say Timothy once. You have to have a comprehensive knowledge of the word, and they're not getting a comprehensive word knowledge. And
we're better at that. That's true.
You're better at that, and anyway, when I went to church with her Christmas because I thought maybe I could go be a Methodist and then support Christian values this way. Oh, hell no. I'm not sitting through what sounded like a city council meeting on Christmas Eve. No, I can't do it.
But didn't Jesus die for their too ugly, too bad?
Okay. Oh, Jeff, don't be silly. You're trying to pull a Christian string. We're not gonna entertain this.
I'm actually not doing that. But wasn't the Sermon on the Mount all about having a minimal level of housing and universal health care?
Well, the leftists, which my daughter sent me an article that just said that good Christians should take care of the immigrants. Well, it does say that. And if we want to do that, we would change the laws and make immigration a fair logical process, which no one in our government wants to do that. Why? Because the real kings of the United States are people like Walmart, and they like it just the way it is. They want to be able to exploit people and keep wages down among the peon white people. Okay, so and there are some peon white people. Just saying.
I've never peed on a white person.
Peon, dear. The word is peon. You know what the word peon is. It's what they have in Mexico.
Sometimes I hear what I want to hear.
It's like a pork. They really want it to be like in Mexico, where we work for $3 a day and we like it. And groceries cost just as much as in the United States. They want the people that are in power would like it to be that way.
I think it would not be much of a stretch for me to say that the discussion concerning immigrants also invokes a responsibility not to allow immigrants in that you cannot positively fulfill the commandment to care for the immigrant. Nowhere does it say that you should let unlimited immigrants in. It just says immigrants and immigrants you should take care of.
There you go, Jeff. And I have participated in the care of immigrants. It was part of my working career. So I got a solid understanding of that. It doesn't say, let's let them in so we can prostitute them. And it says we should actually take care of them. It doesn't say, because that's what's going on. 20,000 children that flew in 2 weeks after Biden got in, they were being prostituted. Okay, poor Norm had to leave on that. I'm sorry. Yes, he's very sweet, but well, there you are, Norm. I'm from Dallas. We know all about prostitution in Dallas. We're one of the top prostitution cities in the country.
Norm, you there? Yeah. You see, they were Venezuela released an Israeli Argentinian guy.
77 years old or something?
72.
Unbelievable. That sounds like a long term.
Okay, say that again, Jeff. I missed your point. You missed that.
An old Israeli dude was arrested in Venezuela a little over a year ago, and they just released him today.
I'm looking at some of the footage from Iran, and it is not good.
No. I still don't do a fair job of avoiding the real gruesome shit, but I've seen some of it, and I don't like it.
It's brutal.
Looks like we're going to go after the Muslim Brotherhood, too.
I see that. Thank you, Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio.
He's very good.
I have to ask you guys, who are the eating Buttercup's comments today?
It was not me, but I thought it very funny.
No, you guys should stop doing that. Wasn't it you?
I didn't know it.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I saw some of the comments that were left, and I'm trying to understand because people were saying like, and I'm not sure that she reacted correctly.
The way that moves as you move. Some commentary on the verse: as you start on the way appears. When you cease to be, real being becomes. Zuleika shut every door, but Joseph kept rattling the locks. He trusted and kept moving back and forth, and somehow he escaped. This is the way to slip through to your non-spatial home. Think how you came into this world. Can you explain how that was? No. The same way you came, you leave. You wander landscapes in your dreams. How did you get there? Close your eyes and surrender. Find yourself in the city of God. But you're still looking for admiration. You love how your customers look at you. You sit at the head of the assembly. When you close your eyes, you see people applauding, as surely as an owl shuts its eyes and sees the forest. You live in an admiration world, but what do you offer admirers? If you had true spirit, gifts to give, you would not think of customers. There was once a man who said, I am a prophet. In fact, I am the edge of prophecy moving through time. People surround him and tie him up and bring him before the king. What right does this man have to say that he lives in the place of revelation? The man himself speaks up. Think how an infant sleeps and grows unconsciously into awareness. Prophets are not like that. They pass awake from the source to this up and down of the five. Senses, this left, right, back and forth, put him on the rack, they scream. But the king sees that the man is thin and fragile. He speaks gently. Kindness is his way. He disperses the crowd, sits the man down, and asks where he lives. My home is the peace of God, but I have come to this judging place where no one knows me. I feel like a fish upon sand. The king keeps trying to joke him out of his state, but why did you make these claims today? Was it something you ate? Don't care about world food. I am tasting God's honey. But what is that to these people? They're like mountain rocks. They scoff at me by echoing what I say. If I brought them news of money or a love note from a sweetheart, they would welcome me. But not with this prophecy talk. It's like a blood-soaked bandage on a donkey's back. The one who removes it is being helpful. But he's going to get kicked. No one here wants to be healed. Show me someone who wants what I have. But let's suppose for a moment that my inspiration is not divine. Still, you would agree my speaking is not inferior to the workings of a bee. The Quran says God has inspired thee. This universe is filled with honey. Human beings feed on it and evolve upward with the same, but more profound. Inspiration as the bee. So the man defends his claim. You have read about the inspired spring. Drink from there. Be companions with those whose lips are wet with that water. Others, even though they may be your father or your mother, are enemies. Leave before they kill you. The pathless path opens whenever you genuinely say, there is no reality but God. There is only God.
Because a lot of things were deleted, but they were talking about the 12,000 people that were killed in Iran, and then she said, it's unconfirmed, it's unverified, which is true. Yes, she's right. I'm just wondering about the 70 or 300 or 200 million, whatever Palestinians that died. I never heard her say, like, okay, it's unverified, it's not confirmed, but with this, she was really ready to automatically, like, delegitimize it. Now, again, I don't know if it's true, if it's 12,000 or 2,000, I really don't know. Or the Irish phone call. But that was my point.
I will phone.
I don't think she was making any kind of point this morning when that was happening.
No, it was in the chat apparently, but I didn't notice because I was not paying attention to the chat. I was doing something else.
It was very funny. She kept going, Issa, do something, do something.
No, that was Bibi saying, Issa, do something.
No, she said it first. Someone deleted her whining, and then he mocked her and said, and wrote it again.
Okay, because when I went to scroll up all the comments, I saw Bibi saying, Issa, do something. But I didn't notice while it was happening. So I was just wondering because...
My money is it was Bibi. My money was it was Bibi doing it.
Yeah, me too. She loves the fuckery.
Yep. And it was just funny because she was reacting.
Yeah, but it's not cool because then Billy wants other people to treat him well as well. Like even T-Rops, he kicked him yesterday apparently out of the room. And Billy was like, yeah, yes, I was kicked out of the room and I was only in the audience. Well, like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. This is him. I cannot control him and I was not in the room. But then Billy does this shit as well. So okay, he's an anti-Semite. So you called it. He's an anti-Semite. In my opinion, he has the right to hate whoever he wants. Like you cannot do anything about it. What he feels in his heart is his, and that is his problem. Now, I do think that if he hurts someone physically or prevents someone physically or actually trumps someone's rights, I would be against that. But not just because of anti-Semitism, but because that is illegal.
Yeah, but you're having a conversation.
But hold on. Let me finish.
Not relevant to what we were talking about.
My point is, okay, he's an anti-Semite. We define that. So what?
Well,
how do we move forward in the conversation?
Links, receipt. The links, receipt.
I don't spend my time on the app recording.
Receipt. Receipt. Link.
It's not
no.
meaningful.
Jeff, you can criticize him all you want.
Daniel,
I don't care.
You have magical powers over him.
No, listen. You can criticize him all you want. We all know each other here. We've been here for years. We all know he's an anti-Semite. We know he hates the Jews. So why do we need to call it every time, for example, that he is involved in a conversation?
Because his reasoning, I mean, he says something, okay, about the Jews, and it's obviously like a black libel or just hate. So we say, okay, so he's an anti-Semite. This is what he stands on. It's not about being right or moral or humane or logic or factual. None of it. He's saying something anti-Semitic. He's all about spreading hate against the Jews, and at the end, I mean, this hate is translated into action even without going and saying, go kill the Jews. That is the situation that we live. We have...
the Shah is here.
Because it became legitimate to attack Jews. And we, the Jews, we don't think it's legitimate.
I get it. And I tell him all the time, Like I hate it every single fucking time when
Isa,
we're
you're
talking
making
about
it about
anything and
him.
he brings the news. It's just annoying, but not because I care about what he feels or how he feels about people. It's just because I don't give a shit what he thinks about.
But again, you're making it about something specific, and that's not the nature of the feedback that I'm getting. Like you're making it about how do we deal with him, the anti-Semite, not
because
the
you
fact
brought
that
him up.
Hold on. I brought him up as an example. My feedback was specifically when I called one elected official, as long as you know me, an anti-Semite. Your response was you call everybody an anti-Semite.
No. I wasn't referring to you. I wasn't referring to you. I wasn't referring to you.
You were referring to you, Jews. And I'm giving you the feedback. What you did.
No, you guys.
Hold on. But Isa, hear me. What you did by taking my comment and turning it into you, whoever you were pointing to, literally it was the Jews by your own admission, call everything anti-Semitic, literally is an anti-Semitic trope. The fact that you went there.
Well, then call me anti-Semite too. I mean, like, that's the only step that is left, you know? Don't call me anti-Semite.
So now you're still avoiding the feedback, right? I'm not calling you an anti-Semite. I'm trying to help you to understand what you did inadvertently is anti-Semitic. I'm trying to help you to understand that.
I don't care because that is exactly how I stand by my principles. And to me, throwing labels in a conversation, throwing labels to people just easily like that, it's just like it
That's not throwing labels. Isa, take your own advice. Your own advice would have been that you respond to me saying Vance is an anti-Semite. I don't think he's an anti-Semite because of X, Y, and Z. Not to say, effectively, you Jews may see anti-Semites everywhere.
I didn't say you Jews.
That is what you guys. Because if you weren't speaking to me, who were you speaking to? Because you said clearly you were not speaking directly to me. Because I clearly don't do that.
Okay, can I interrupt?
Hold on, Shirley. I'm not going to have anyone controlling my speech just the same way that I don't control your speech.
Who's controlling you? I'm talking to you as a friend, respectfully, and trying to help.
I was giving you my impression.
I wish we could control you. We cannot.
I am explaining.
You're Latina. We can control you.
I am explaining why I don't like this type of argumentation. In the same way,
I'm explaining why I don't like it.
Can I please finish my fucking point? In the same way that it causes me like itchiness as well, the whole racist label. I don't like it. I don't like it when we're talking. I don't care if you're racist or you're not racist. But when somebody throws a racist label, it's like shutting down the conversation. I don't like it. And
I don't like it when my valid and very infrequently used right to label someone who wants to see my children dead, anti-Semite, is delegitimized based on the behavior of other people because that's what you don't like in your essence. It's a preparation age, man.
And it's not throwing labels, it's labeling.
Do you think
it's labeling, it's not throwing labels. Yes.
Yeah. I think he's aligned with people who want my children. Yes.
You think J.D. Vance wants your children dead?
Yeah, not J.D. Vance.
How many times do I have to ask? How many times do you want to ask? Yes, absolutely. Someone who
basically having no empathy for Jews, okay? That is about anti-Semitism. It's having no empathy, it's dehumanizing them and legitimizing their targeting. So I don't think that he wants, but if they were dead, I'm not sure that he will go out protesting or like do too much. I don't know specifically about him, I'm talking about generally anti-Semites.
I agree with you, honey. Like, I have told you that to me, like, I was even more allergic before to the word anti-Semite. But lately, after seeing everything that's been happening and how people are actually trying to hide behind certain terms and whatever, and that it's not about really having an ideological opposition, whatever, but it's just because it's Jews behind something, they are opposed to it. I can agree with you that all
and you should also assume that we are more sensitive to recognizing it than maybe you. So if we call something anti-Semite, it's not necessarily obvious to you. And then what I would suggest is, instead of like shutting it down
or throw it out the window, ask, for example, Jeff, like, why do you say it's anti-Semitic? And then he would probably be able to reason why he's saying it, because we are not throwing labels. We are labeling when we identify it.
And that's exactly what I did. And now then I remember why Jeff was saying that J.D. Vance was an anti-Semite, and I don't think that makes him an anti-Semite. But yeah, well,
someone who denies the existence of anti-Semitism, what would you call that? Like, who fundamentally denies what's plainly obvious that there are anti-Semites.
I would call him a politician. I would call him trying to get people not riled up, to get some fucking balance, because everybody's killing each other. So that's what I would call him. There might be some other reason.
Who are the Jews killing? Who are the Jews killing with their claims of anti-Semitism that
when I mean people killing each other, it's not Jews killing others, but people are
right, exactly. So we're carrying we're carrying the freight.
The temperature is high.
The whole back and forth thing is you can't hear me, I guess.
The temperature is high, Jeff.
Okay, I want to make a point.
And sometimes, just one last thing, sometimes these things that of anti-Semitism or whatever, you think you're helping yourself, but what is creating is more resistance. And
yeah, you know better.
Potentially, it's making it harder for you guys.
I mean, you happen to know, like Daniel and I are not running around throwing around the term.
I know.
But and you respect us unless we actually, because of our convictions and how we see the world, which you respect, use the term anti-Semitism, and then you completely repudiate our agency to use that word.
I didn't repudiate it.
You
literally agency to say anything.
You literally said, essentially, you use that term all the time. Like you're going against your own principles with how you respond. If you can't see it, I'm sorry. You know, no one's perfect, but you are going against your own principles with how you responded to me saying I think J.D. Vance is an anti-Semite.
Well, I think I think you're lowering the bar too much by calling J.D.
No, you just disagree with me. You just disagree with me. Again, by saying I'm lowering the bar, right? What you're doing is you're invalidating my right to judge for myself as a Jew what a Jew is.
I can validate your feelings, but I will still disagree with you, and I will still tell you that
you can disagree with me. You can say I don't think he's an anti-Semite because of takana. What you can't do is respond and say your standards for what an anti-Semitism are too low. You can say I disagree.
I think you're lowering the bar. I'm not invalidating your feelings. You might feel threatened by him. You might feel that he wants to kill your children, and you have all your right to feel afraid about anyone. But I'm just saying that I believe that is lowering the bar. And when you lower the bar so much, then it becomes nothing.
Yeah, and when you say me or Jews lower the bar to call someone an anti-Semite, what you're doing is invalidating every use of the term anti-Semite by every Jew. This is why this is an anti-Semitic scenario.
This specific situation, I'm telling you why.
But you're not. You're speaking of my criteria generally.
What? It's my fucking opinion. This is the reason why I say that, yeah, in the same way that I'm not going to tell you how to feel about someone that you believe is going to go and knock your door and kill your children. I'm not going to be either policed on what shall I think and what should my opinion be. I don't think J.D. Vance is an anti-Semite. I think I can understand the whole reasoning behind calling him an anti-Semite or what anti-Semitism means. In fact, I have come around to be more accepting of that because I have observed and I have seen what it actually is meaning in these days. But I think that as a politician, he needs to lower the temperature. And I disagree with you. I don't think he's an anti-Semite.
I mean, that's fine. I think it's completely valid to disagree. The way you're going about disagree.
I've got several things I'd like to interject here.
Yeah, go ahead, Shirley.
Okay. This is a statement. I'm going to make another statement. From Issa's, if I was going to understand what Issa is saying, it would be when you use the term anti-Semite, and I'm not accusing you of this, Jeff, because I haven't seen you do it. But when I initially got on this app, anyone who wanted to shut me down called me a white supremacist. So if you
that's common.
Okay, so if she's saying that's what's happening with the anti-Semitism statement, I get what she's saying. You want to stop?
I get what she's saying too.
Okay, but now I want to shift. I do believe that there's an extreme right in the Republican Party, and I haven't observed it myself, but they seem to like these really extreme right people seem to like J.D. Vance. So that is kind of scary. And he might talk in a way because he wants to continue to get their support. Now, I'm going to give Issa the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this is what J.D. Vance is doing. Then I'm going to say another thing that's just completely off base, and nobody can judge me too badly about it, because it'll make me sound ugly. Indians are very racist people. It's in their religion. They categorize people, and I've had a lot of Indian friends, and they're racist people. And he's married to this woman, and so you're sitting there. So you have to sit back and go, You have to kind of question that. And I'm not saying that I don't like her. I like my friends that are Indian, but they're fucking anti-Semites and racist. And the only reason any of my Indian friends thought I was acceptable was because I was married to a dentist. That made me acceptable. I wasn't one of those just redneck white people. Okay, so I've had that experience. Okay, but now, Jeff, I want to ask you, because I haven't observed it. I've heard that these people like him, so that makes me question him, and then it makes me question maybe he's doing what Issa is saying. He's trying to keep their support. I don't want somebody that is truly anti-Semitic as president of the United States. So it's kind of, to me, a problem. But, Jeff, what has he specifically said? If you could put your finger on it to make me know for sure that he is actually an anti-Semite.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago at the TPUSA rally, he said that 99% of Republicans are not anti-Semites. 97% of Democrats are not anti-Semites. There is no anti-Semitism problem in America. It's merely the American people reacting to what they see as unjust policy towards Israel. He completely erased the idea that anti-Semitism exists in America and converted it into anti-Israelism, which frankly is nothing but anti-Semitism.
When you have people saying "river to the sea" in front of Jewish dormitories, it completely erases that as a reality. I have been shocked. I didn't really realize, because I'm from the South, and we've discussed this. We are taught as children that anti-Semitism is incorrect. I didn't really realize it, but when you see these children, these moronic children in front of those dorms behaving that way, you know that there is. When they want to complain about the fact that we give money to Israel, oh, by the way, they give it back to us to buy arms. It's ridiculous.
Right, and so with that statement, not only did he repudiate Trump's policies, but he also legitimized all of that anti-Semitic hate that happened in front of all those dormitories. He legitimized the expression in front of the synagogue last week in New York that even Mamdani repudiated for whatever reason. Because he went out there and he said, we have no problem of anti-Semitism. We almost don't even have any anti-Semites. At best, it's 3% of the population. Like, it's just simply not true, and he's not a dumb man. And his intention is
frankly, to keep the support of the anti-Semites. But, you know, if you're going to placate the anti-Semites by denying anti-Semitism, what does that make you?
Well, it's ridiculous. It does make you look at least ridiculous. And I'm not, that is part of the reason I was so upset by, I'm not Kirk. What's his name? Who is the kid that just, Charlie Kirk. That's part of the reason why it was so upsetting to me, because he did stand with Israel, and he was pushing back on the extreme right in our party, and so that's what made that so important.
And Shirley, it shouldn't be lost on you. He made this speech from Charlie Kirk's podium at TPUSA.
Well, I'm not liking it because that does not stand for what Charlie Kirk thought at all.
I mean, you're saying, what does it make him? Well, it could make him a dishonest politician. It could make him an ignorant. It could make him, I don't know, a diplomat trying to lower the temperature. You have a lot of options of what that makes him. And I don't think that the only option that you can see is that he is an anti-Semite. I don't think he hates the Jews. I don't think he has any problem with Israel. In fact, he stands all the time defending Israel. So that comment, that might have been awful, that might have been a lie, that might have been dishonest, it might have been whatever you want, but I don't think that makes him an anti-Semite.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to agree.
What he said was anti-Semitic. Maybe that is something that you would accept.
You could even say that. That would be a comment that I would agree more. He said something anti-Semitic. I don't think he's an anti-Semite.
Guys, I wrapped to a play, so I will accept you later.
Where are you?
I went to the theater, darling. I went to the theater.
Enjoy, darling.
That sounds so gay.
Daniel, what play? Okay, so what do you see?
Is it a gay play or a regular play?
It's called the what?
The Chabadniks. Chabad, you know Chabad, right? We spoke about it in every shithole, like Guatemala. There's a Chabad center, so the show is called the Chabad.
Are you going off the deep end, Daniel?
I don't know what it means, but I'm willing to try. I will send you a copy of the brochure later. All right, talk to you later, guys.
Daniel, just remember to say "Mode up" now.
It should be funny. All right, ciao.
Anyway.
Okay, y'all. Actionism and getting a little bit stressed over the beginning of the year because I want things to be perfect. So I have come up with a strategy. I'm going to try to be perfect 100 days this year, not the whole year. Do you think that'll help?
I'm not really sure. What did you say? That would help? About your perfectionism and your...
Well, say committing to doing something 100 times this year instead of thinking, I'm going to do it every year, every day.
Oh.
I think you should set your expectations lower and then overachieve. If you're a little under a third, I think it should be like a little, like 20%. And then you'll overachieve and you'll feel better about yourself.
I like
you have
that.
A problem of over-promising and under-delivering.
Yes.
Under estimate and over deliver, and that's the recipe for mental success.
This is what I'm aiming at. Under promising and over delivering. I like that. That's good, Jakob.
Worked well for me.
Is it a strategy of yours?
Yeah, I learned it early. I learned it early on. I used to come home with hundreds in math tests, and my mom would say, math test was too easy. I worked really hard studying, whatever. So then I would knock off a few points and come home with like 96 or 97, 98, something like that. Wow, you really studied hard for it. That's amazing. So, you just leave a few points off, over deliver, it always looks better.
Oh, Yaakov, that's amazing.
Yeah, but she did that to me. Like, that's set me up for a whole life of angst.
Hey.
I think your mother was anti-Semitic.
Listen, Yaakov, I am not as brilliant as you, but my father, if you made an A, why wasn't it an A+? It kind of in the same...
Technically. My mom would have been like, why wasn't I higher? Mom, there's nothing bigger than 100.
I think your brain is anti-Semitic, Jeff. Your emotions. I think your emotions are anti-Semitic.
Probably not.
Yeah, you know why? Because they make me hate you.
Oh, I mean, you only hate me when I point out anti-Semites. Otherwise, you're kind of a big fan.
The sexual tension is off. You guys will go back to liking each other.
Huh?
Are you saying there's more sexual tension when she's saying she hates me or when she isn't?
No, she hates you. Like, it's kind of sexual tension.
It gets pretty thick?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe she wants to be colonized, Jaco.
Yeah, exactly that.
She wants to be occupied.
No, hey now. I figured that, I'd have to do dinner or something first. The colonization process is very important before you occupy.
Yeah, I want Jeff to call me anti-Semitic harder. Call me anti-Semite harder, Jeff.
That won't work. I don't actually think you are.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I might say things that people don't agree with, but that doesn't mean I hate Jews, I mean, I hate you a little bit.
Are you going back to the land of 47?
Yeah, that's because you're a Jew.
Now that you said I hate you again, I agree with Jaco. A lot of sexual tension.
Yeah, exactly. Number one side.
Yeah.
Jaco,
One day,
it's a burger you and I share.
Yeah.
I'm like taking them away.
Yeah, I mean.
Hello, this call is from the Illinois Department Department of Employment Security regarding your request for a courtesy callback. We respectfully request that you save this number, 800-244-5631, into your contacts so that you will recognize and answer our call next time we attempt to reach you. IDEF thanks you for your continued patience and understanding. We look forward to speaking with you.
It's like flies to shit sometimes, Jacob. It's a lot of responsibility.
Who are you calling? Who is the fly and who is the shit?
You're the fly, I'm the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're the shit, you're the fly.
That's anti-Semitic as well.
Oh.
I mean, maybe.
It's like moth and flame. Who do you think is the moth and who do you think is the flame?
Yeah. Anyway.
Isa, take some medicine. You sound terrible all of a sudden.
I know, yeah. I already took a tablet right now. I think that my fever is back, but I'm not going to feel like shit anymore. Like, my mindset is good. Like, I am strong. I am healthy. I'm recovered.
I am woman.
I am woman. I was just Googling this thing that Daniel is going to watch, and I think it has like a vibe like the Book of Mormon.
We prescribe a friend. We are wisdom and healing, roasted meat and the star canopus. We are ground and spilled wine soaking in. When illness comes, we cure it. For sadness, we prescribe a friend. For death, a friend. Run to meet us on the road. We stay modest and we bless. We look like this. But this is a tree. And we are morning wind in the leaves that makes the branches move. Silence turning now into this. Now that.
It says a popular musical comedy in Israel titled The Chabadnikim, also known as the Hasidic couple, premiered in 2022. The show is about two 23-year-old twin brothers from Kafar Chabad who must find brides. When one brother cannot find a match, they both venture into the secular world of Tel Aviv, leading to a comedic clash of cultures. Sounds very similar to the Book of Mormon. Oh yeah, it says here. It says, musical comedy often compared to a Jewish Book of Mormon.
Wait,
due to its light-hearted satire of religious life. What?
Is that the play or a movie?
No, a play, a musical.
Oh, a gay musical or just the musical?
Musical. It says tackle serious social issues, including homosexuality within Hasidic communities, immigrant workers, and the shidduch, the matchmaking system. All with a humorous and light touch. Oh, they should bring this thing also to the West.
Alright, so not that this is a reputable source, but I am reading that Trump is set to give a speech on Iran from Detroit, which would be an interesting place to give it.
What is he doing in Detroit?
I mean, he's the president of Detroit.
I think
very interesting.
What's that town like right next door that's like fully Arabic? Get to go there. Dearborn. Dearborn. There we go. Dearborn.
At what time does it say?
What is MIGA? M-I-G-A.
Make Iran gay again.
Okay. I'm further gay than Iran as much as Ahmadinejad wants for Iran. Have a good day, guys.
You leaving? Oh, he left. Also, they're doing European dates, a tour. Oh, I would love to watch this one, but I'm sure it's in Hebrew. Oh, it says for Israeli productions. Oh no. Comedy theater. Anyway, Jeff, at what time is he going to speak?
I don't have that information. But if what I'm reading is correct, it seems as though all the decisions are being decided today. There's also been some leaks that indicate that, I mean, if this is accurate, the source is not typically that accurate, but that part of the issue is Russia was able to deliver them some S-400 units, which made F-35s a little bit less safe to operate in the air from Russia. And there's also a claim that Iran nuclear capability is 60 days off.
Yeah, I also don't think that we will ever know when they're going to strike. He always likes the element of surprise.
Yeah, that's right. It's interesting. The Egyptian government welcomed the designation of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt as terrorists.
Can you repeat?
The Egyptian government supports the U.S. designating the Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood as global terrorists.
Oh, that's good. But it's what I was telling you before, that I think that Trump is aligning everyone behind his puzzle, and yeah, they already committed to all of this shit. Qatar has also been silent, about Iran and everything. Somebody was asked, I think it was Meyer, asking me the other day in another room, like whether that it's surprising how Qatar has been silent, and I'm like, I don't think it's surprising at all. Like, Qatar is right now playing quote unquote Switzerland, like just staying quiet because they must have agreed some things with Trump before they signed the guarantees agreement.
Well, Qatar is thrilled that the U.S. potentially will get involved with it.
Love note from the sweetheart. They would welcome me. But not with this prophecy talk. It's like a blood-soaked bandage on a donkey's back. The one who removes it is being helpful. But he's going to get kicked. No one here wants to be healed. Show me someone who wants what I have. But let's suppose for a moment that my inspiration is not divine. Still, you would agree my speaking is not inferior to the workings of a bee. The Quran says God had scoffed at me by echoing.
Your brain is anti-Semitic, Jess. You're remote.
Green Bay, son! I was like, did you see the size of the guy? They scoff at me by echoing what I say. If I brought them news of money, a love note from a sweetheart, they would welcome me. But not with this prophecy talk. It's like a blood-soaked bandage on a donkey's back. The one who removes it is being helpful. But he's going to get kicked. No one here wants to be healed. Show me someone who wants what I have.
Arabs and the Arabs have no love, no affection for Iran at all.
But do you think it is true, or it is just like conveniently in the strategic view, of their alliances, economic alliances in the world? Because there's still Islam. and they still support each other.
So you have to remember that the Sunni don't see Shias as really being Muslim. Like,
yeah.
Or at best, they see them the same way you see Protestants, right? Like, so, you know, if you had an extreme Protestant country that was abusing its citizens, blah, 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 you know, somewhere in South America, and, you know, America decided they needed to pursue regime. Like, let's say Venezuela was actually run by fundamentalist Protestants. You know, would your country be like, as Catholics, we oppose this. We share a prophet. No, they don't give a shit.
Well,
and they also geopolitically, Iran's bullshit. Hostile. Iran is hostile to like a threat to Arab countries.
Yeah, but also Jeff,
So why do we have
Islam doesn't just hold on 1 second, Faisal. Islam sees the religion in a different way that we Christians do, and for them it is more important to have Muslims and have them doing the right thing the right way, but ultimately Islam is over any other interest. Like, they're not gonna go and, well, yeah, actually they kill each other. Sorry, go ahead, Faisal.
Why do we have almost 2 million Saudi Shias in Saudi Arabia? That's more than the population of Shias in Lebanon, Kuwait, Bahrain, and another country combined. If that's
I don't know what that's responsive to.
So you're taking a minimalizing perspective on the disagreement, essentially between Sunnis and extreme Alawites who think that Ali is God, essentially, who had literally had become as bad of Muslims in interpreting Islam as the Nation of Islam's people in America who think God is 7 black men or so. Yeah, other than that, people who just have more reverence, Shias, who have more reverence to the family of the Prophet, the Sunnis see them as other Muslims, but they differ in some theological perspective on Islam.
So maybe it would help to understand what I was responding to. So the question was, or the statement was, it's surprising Qatar isn't, advocating more for Iran because they share Islam. And my point was, yes, they share Islam, but they don't share the same Islam, and therefore they're not likely to advocate to support Iran because they don't care that much about Shia or a Shia country that they see as being kind of an apostate version of Islam. So that's what I was responding to. Does that make more sense to you now, Faisal?
It discounts what our foreign affairs minister will speak out every time an American attack happens on Iran, like Saudi Arabia does the same. They speak out against it. Like they don't just like Iran and therefore the geographical area around them just to be messed up by those.
Okay, I'm not really sure what that's responding to, but sure, they write a note after the fact. That's true. Hello, Seth.
Hello, Jeff.
How are you, Seth?
I'll be better after this coffee.
I bet.
Nah, fuck Iran, bro. Fuck Iran. And yeah, like most of the Gulf countries have a sizable Shia population, and it's not like it doesn't make sense that these countries just see themselves as Sunni countries and they wouldn't speak out for the Shias. That's not the case.
No, I mean, I'm not suggesting that they, are ethnically cleansing Shia in certain countries.
but they definitely see themselves as Sunni countries, with the exception of why do I always forget the name of that little island? I want to say Baghdad, but that's not right. What's the little island I'm thinking of?
So perhaps Saudi Arabia was at a certain point, to a huge extent, but not fully. They still, like for example, allowed.
Anyways, what was that? He saw someone in real life and had to say "Salam alaikum."
I agree to a family member. Anyways, they allowed Shias to continue to practice their faith under the table, essentially, through the Wahhabist time. But nowadays, as you know, things have progressed in Saudi Arabia, and the same ministry that overlooks the opening of mosques is the same one that does it for the Husseiniya, the place where she has essentially prayed.
I'm not suggesting there's widespread. I'm not suggesting there's widespread oppression of Shias throughout the Sunni world. Like I'm simply saying that that religious difference is enough that most Arab countries are not going to bend over, are not going to kill themselves to try to protect Iran. Plus, Iran is a regional threat that has no problem attacking Sunni countries and occupying them. So, like,
I suggest that the latter takes precedence before the former.
Well, that's fair. That's true. That's an accurate statement. But both things are, in fact, true. I mean, the only place you really see hostility between Sunni and Shia inside of a country to any magnitude. I mean, I guess in Iraq you still have it, and also Lebanon. But besides that, well, I guess also Syria. But besides that, everybody seems okay, largely. What is that? Why? I don't know why I can never remember the name of this fucking little country.
I keep saying that the majority of Muslim people are more different than the average Christians. Like, they practice their religion every once in a while. Perhaps they go to the mosque, perhaps they don't, or so on. But their everyday life is not all that much different, like for other sects of Islam. So that's where the tolerance comes from.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the ways that's true, it's very true. I think there's also some ways that Muslims are different, but it is what it is. I think most people at the end of the day are like fairly moderate in their approach and things, but certainly there's a difference in ideology. So to be a moderate Christian just means you don't go to church very much. To be a moderate Muslim also means you don't go to mosque very much. But at the end of the day, the ideal of Christianity and the ideal of Islam are very, very different ideals. So being a moderate Muslim probably means you don't support terror, or at least not that much, or maybe you don't support it that often.
Or like you understand where it comes from, but you don't think it should go to that extreme.
I mean, yeah, if you're informed, but I mean, the ideals of the theology, unfortunately, do promote it. So yeah, in practice, people are pretty much the same, mostly, but the ultimate goals of the worldview of Christianity and Islam are very different. So I do appreciate moderate Muslims for not being less moderate, because less moderate Muslims are very dangerous. Less moderate Christians just don't dance.
There you go.
I mean, the Christians occasionally bomb an abortion clinic. I mean, there is that, but
Well, I don't know if they're theologically that different at their core, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what you're dumb views.
I just think it's not, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day...
When did Jesus lead an army and massacre the inhabitants of another country?
Well, you know, I mean, it manifested itself as the Crusades. You know, that's not exactly wholesome.
Oh, okay, but was that Jesus?
Well, you know, the Islamic expansion, 80% of the Islamic expansion of the religion was post the death of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. More than
80%? Is that a real number, or did you make that up?
No,
Because I think you can consult it for based on what? Based on population forced to convert? Based on
that. Well, you can't forcibly convert in Islam, so you actually can't.
Yeah, despite that, it happens. It's really interesting.
Right, exactly. So
Susie, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm not letting it go. The Crusades, I'm getting tired of that CRAP because the Muslims came first into Europe, and they were trying to convert Europe. They went into Spain. Mm-hmm. It was a reaction to that, so just let that argument go.
But is it a forced conversion? That's the question. I mean, you're allowed
to... there were forced conversions in Andalusia. Yes, right. 100%.
Well, then what you need to think about is the fact, like, say, for example, you have a friend, right, and he tells you...
I don't need to think about it. You do.
It was forced conversion.
Hear me out.
It was forced conversion.
Right. So, Andre, it was forced.
For two reasons.
I'm conceding.
Number one, it was under stress, population under stress, and secondly, it was okay.
I'm conceding it was forced, but you're not listening to my point. Imagine you have a friend and he tells you he's vegetarian, and then he keeps going to a steakhouse, right? And you know, and then he happens to just go on a killing spree one day. You wouldn't say, "Oh, I just don't like vegetarians." You know what I mean? It's kind of like.
Well, it really depends. Aziz, if my friend was reading a book and finding wisdom and knowledge in this book written by a vegetarian who had and in this book it talked about how this vegetarian actually led a killing spree of meat eaters all over South America, ultimately taking power over 80% of South America, where they banned the eating of meat unless you paid a special tax. Then I would make that comparison because he's idealizing a very violent man who has ideals that promote more violence. Yes, I would make that conclusion in that case.
Right. So you
have that book in your pocket.
Right, and he's obviously clearly misunderstood where it says you cannot forcibly convert. There is no compulsion. You cannot murder in a sense. You cannot. You know, if you're not following the rules, then I think you need to. It's like, you know, we can't be mad at. We're not mad at the Beatles for being inspired by Helter Skelter when Charles Manson went on a killing spree. Right, we're not mad at the Beatles. We're not mad at.
No, we're not mad. We're not mad at the Beatles. But
for the death of
again. Yeah, I mean, you're not. I mean, the great sign that I've made a good point is when you try to change the subject or try to push the goalpost.
No,
the fact of the matter is, your example with the vegan is really good. If he was a follower of a violent vegan expansionist like Muhammad was.
Right, but the only reason I'm making that point is because you're making a distinction between the religions, and I'm simply saying
I'm making a distinction between the prophets. I don't have any problem with Islam as being a valid framework of a religion. I think the example of a violent warlord who led expansionist raids to be compared to Jesus, if I was Christian, I'd be quite offensive. I'd be quite offended because Jesus, was problematic in some ways for the authorities and certainly for the Jews of the time. He is an excellent example of that. I think Christians should be proud to try to emulate.
I agree.
Whereas Muslims, many of which are fine people, in spite of the fact that they're taught to emulate their perfect prophet, who committed mass atrocities on free continents.
Well, you know, Jesus was a pacifist, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was a leader in a time of wars. They're different, you know what I mean? It's very different.
I mean, he initiated all those wars.
Here's what
Have you read the Quran? Aziz, like, this is what kills me about Muslims. Like, you're kufar. You're going to mischaracterize the Quran just to protect the image that you think the Westerners need to hear about Islam. Be proud. He was a very successful
I'm very proud of the battles that he won. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the battles.
Be truthful.
No, I'm very proud. First of all, let me just educate you. Takia is only, you can only do Takia if you're affair of your life and somebody asks you what religion you are. That's the only instance you can use Takia, by the way. It has to be at knife point.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, just like you said. It's true. But again, Muslims misunderstand course conversions too.
We don't have like
Takia is just Takia. Like, what's going on here?
I much prefer talking to you, Faisal. He's an idiot.
But you know what's interesting, Jeff, is that this is actually a very good point. So Aziz is very proud of all the brutalities and conquests of Muhammad. Most of the Christians actually shy away from the Crusades. They don't think that's the best representation of their religion. They don't want to be associated with any atrocities that were committed during the period, or in the name of their God. And this is a completely different paradigm that makes tons of sense.
All right. So if you know the year that the prophet was born in, we call it in Arabic. Do you know what it's called? What is it called, Jeff?
What year he was born?
It's termed, regardless of what is the number of it. Like it's termed.
I forget the term. You're talking about
trust. 622, but I don't know if 510
when he was born. It's called Am al-Fil. That translates to the year of the elephant. And why was it called that? Because it was told that by that year, on the very same year, before the prophet was born, a general, an Abyssinian general, came into Mecca, to the region with an army led by him on an elephant. And he was trying to take over. So to say that the prophet or the people of the prophet initiated wars, they didn't feel threatened by multiple expanding kingdoms. Well, you have the Romans, you have the Persians, and even the Abyssinians, even the Africans didn't leave them. Yeah, it's a bit silly, like to take the context of that. In any day, you would have been annexed essentially and been eaten by other growing powers. So I think it's really only a happenstance of history that Jesus died a bit too early, for him to grow the numbers of his followers and for him to be a leader and then act on for the defense of his followers and people. Like I think it's only a matter of happenstance, but you can't just say, that perfect child didn't kill anyone. He died when he was 3 years old. Like obviously, if things didn't play out on an equal footing for you to compare two people, then you can't just say, that the person A didn't do this and that when he didn't live long enough to prove that he actually would never resort to these expansionist motives.
Bearing in mind, the Prophet was part of a tribe called the Quraysh, who were a noble tribe, right? They were considered like wealthy in the region, and he rejected his nobility for the common man. He said, "We are the same." That's why we walk around the Kaaba. You know, when we walk around the Kaaba, that was the destruction of the idols. There was actually idols within the Kaaba, the black box that we walk around. This is a representation of the end of, polytheism and the idol of the oneness of God. Right? So this is like a mischaracterization and a great point Faisal made about the timing and happenstance. There was a lot of
he's way smarter than you.
He is way smarter than you.
So Faisal, your argument that if Jesus lived longer, he might have been made in other places is like kind of a silly argument, but
as a motive to defend his people, like secure.
Sorry, Jeff, really quickly. The whole idea was to be a pacifist for Jesus. The very reason why he was mostly rejected, whether rightfully or not rightfully, that's a completely different discussion, by the Jewish community, is that he did not represent the type of Messiah that they expected. They expected a warrior. He was different, and so that argument just falls flat on its feet.
Yeah, and also Abraham Shram.
Does it? Hold on, like wasn't Jesus quoted like in the Bible?
راست دوشه دل تو بودی نگهبان شب غافل تو بودی بگو اسب سپیدم را که دزدی امیدم را که دزدی امیدم را که دزدی مرا اسب چموشی بود روزی شهادت می فروشی بود روزی شبی چون باد بر یالش خزیدم به سوی خانه صافی دویدم 40 شب را بی وقت راندم 40 تصویر صافی نامه خواندم ببین ای دل چقدر اینقدر زیباست گمانم خانه صافی همینجا گمانم خانه صافی همینجا دلم تا دست بر دامان در زد 2 دستی سنگ شیون را به سر زد امیدم مشت نومیدی به در کن نگاهم قفل در میشه قدر کن که در دست این که در فصل عقاقی به روی عاشقان در بست صافی به روی عاشقان در بست صافی بر این دروای من قفلی لجوج بر این دروای من قفلی لجوج است به جوش ای عشق هنگام خروج است در میخانه را گیرم که بستم کلیدش را چرا یارب شکستم کلیدش را چرا یارب شکستم کلیدش را چرا یارب شکستم کردم در زندان بمانم دعا کردم سرگردان بمانم من آخر طاقت ماندن ندارم من آخر طاقت ماندن ندارم خدایا تا به جان کندن ندارم خدایا تا به جان کندن ندارم دلم تا چند یارب خسته باشد در لطف تو تا کی بسته باشد در لطف تو تا کی بسته باشد بیا باز امشب دل در بکوبیم بیا این بار محکم تر بکوبیم بیا باز امشب دل در بکوبیم بیا این بار محکم تر بکوبیم مکوب ای دل به تلخی دست بر دست در این قصر بلور آخر کسی هست در این قصر بلور آخر کسی هست بکوب ای دل که اینجا قصر نور است بکوب ای دل مرا شرم حضور است بکوب ای دل
Hey, Honey Badger. Look who's here, Mr. Big Guy. How's the most argumentative man in the world?
Yes, I am the most interesting man on this.
No, I said argumentative. Are you this argumentative with people in your real life?
I'm listening to some Mozart right now. I'm having a hard time.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. Did you say I'm the most interesting man on this app? Is that?
Oh my God. Hi, this is John.
Hey, John. This is Chris Roberts with Voter Ping. Just wondering.
Chris, I gotta hop off the call. You said voter ping?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I gotta hop off the call. If you could call me back in like a couple hours, I'm expecting an urgent call. I apologize.
Yep.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
بکوب ای دل که جای شک و زن مرا هرچند روی در زدن نیست کریمان گرچه ستار العیوبن گدایانی که محبوبن خوبن گدایانی که محبوبن خوبن بکو بی دل مشو نومید از این در بکو بی دل سال دیگر دلا پیشای تا دادت بگویم بگوشد قصه ای شیرین بگویم برون آیی اگر از حفره ناز به رویت میگشایم سفره راز به رویت میگشایم سفره راز نمیدانم بگویم یا نگویم دلا بگذار تا حالا نگویم ببخش ای خوب امشب ناتوانم خطا در رفت از دست زبانم لطیفا رحمت آور من ضعیفم قوی تر از من از امشب حریفم شبی تر که محبت گفته بودم میان دره شب گفته بودم نیم از ناله شیرین توی بود سرم بر خاک آمد سر نمیسود زبانم حرف با حرفی نمیزد سکوتم ظرف بر ظرفی نمیزد نگاهم خال در جایی نمیکوب به چشمم اشک غم تایی نمیکوب دلم در سینه قفلی بود محکم کلیدش بود در دریاچه غم کلیدش بود در دریاچه غم امیدم گرد امیدی نمیگشت شبم دنبال خورشیدی نمیگشت حبیبم قاصدی از پی فرستاد پیامی با بلوری می فرستاد که میدانم تو را شرم حضور است مشو نومید اینجا قصر نور است مشو نومید اینجا قصر نور است الا ای عاشق اندوهگینم نمیخواهم تو را غمگین ببینم نمیخواهم تو را غمگین ببینم اگر آه تو از جنس نیازم در باغ شهادت باز بازم در باغ شهادت باز در باغ شهادت باز است نمیدانم که در سر این چه سوداست همین اندازه میدانم که زیباست خداوندا چه درد است این چه درد است که فولاد دلم را آب کرده است مرا ای دوست شرم بندگی کش چه لطف است این مرا شرمندگی کش چه لطف است این مرا شرمندگی کش
مردان خدا کرب و بلا در انتظار است قسمت دوم
What you've been given. How can we know the divine qualities from within if we know only through metaphors? It's like when virginal young people ask what sex feels like and you answer like candy. So sweet. The suchness of sex comes with being inside the pleasure. So whatever you say about mysteries, I know or I don't know, both are close to being true. Neither is quite a lie. Someone asks, do you know the prophet Noah? You may answer, well, I've read stories in school. I've heard the legends that have come down. But only someone in Noah's state can know him. Now I hear a theologian reacting, don't get stuck in that ditch. What you have just said is absurd. And the King of Saints, the Qutb, replies, any state other than what you have experienced seems absurd. You have had certain visions. Before them, did not mysticism sound ridiculous? What you've been given has released you from prison 10 times. Won't this empty desert freedom you feel now someday be confining? Now I lay me down to stay awake. Pray the Lord my soul to take into wakefulness, so that I can get this one bit of wisdom clear. Grace comes to forgive and then forgive again. Grace got confused. One maddening drop, then another. You pour wine for us now like that. Remember when you poured full light all at once a whole day, you put your finger on your lips wanting quiet. But those drops you drip keep talking. It's not us. As you were killing Junaid, he said more. In each blood drop of his a new Bastami. The first that fell on ground grew Adam. In the sky, Gabriel. Those old days you poured according to merit. Then Grace got confused, and you poured everybody some. Bread does not deserve you. Yet you lived your life for bread. You brought water and threw it at the water carrier. What you showed Moses was not fire, but a shape of consciousness. Will that Friday ever come again when you served your close friends individually? Each moment a stranger and friend meet. The bloods mix. Roses drop petals in autumn. Shy. Offer your friendship. Hi, this is John.
Mr. Kitover, this is Administrative Law Judge from the Department of Employment Security. Are you ready for the hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Hold the line for a moment while I call on the reporter's witness. before I begin, I'd like to let you both know that this is a recorded hearing. So in order to continue, Mr. Kitover, do I consent to the recording?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bureau, do I consent?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So this is a hearing before the Illinois Department of Employment and Security Appeals Division. The docket number that I have for today is 2530974. Even though this hearing is conducted over the phone, it is a formal hearing, and as such, any testimony that the witnesses provide today that needs to be taken under an oath or affirmation. So at this moment, I'm going to ask that you both raise your right hand while I administer this oath. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Kitover, is that your oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. And Mr. Bureau, is that your oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that today's witnesses have taken the oath. So this hearing is being held today, January 13th, 2026, before Judge Tubbs at the Division Office in Springfield, Illinois. This hearing concerns, or my first order, this hearing concerns an appeal from an employment security local office determination that was dated April 29th, 2025. Wait a second. Yeah. That determination held that the evidence shows that the claimant was discharged from IRS because he was absent from work. He was absent without leave and failed to follow established leave procedures from November 2024 to March 2025. And since the reason the claimant was discharged constituted a violation of a known and reasonable company rule, the claimant was discharged for misconduct connected with the work, and the claimant is ineligible for benefits from March 23rd, 2025, and will be determined ineligible until he meets the eligibility requirements. A section of law that applies is Section 602A of the Unemployment Insurance Act. And 602A provides that an individual shall be ineligible for benefits for the week in which he has been discharged for misconduct connected with his work and thereafter until he has become reemployed and has had earnings equal to or in excess of his current weekly benefit amount in each of 4 calendar weeks. So, Mr. Kitover, do you understand what that determination I just read means?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. And Mr. Bureau, do you also understand what that determination means?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Well, Mr. Kitover, this determination does go a little further, and it states that if you disagree with this determination, that you may submit your request for an appeal in writing, and it must be submitted to the department within 30 calendar days after the date this notice was mailed to you. So this notice was mailed to you on April 29th, 2025. That would have put a deadline to file your appeal on May 29th. I had your appeal received on September 22nd, which is about 4 months late. Is there a reason why your appeal wasn't filed in a timely manner?
Yes, Your Honor. One of a fact is I was terminated May 30th, 2025. And so that's technically my last day with the IRS. The reason why it was filed late was because I uploaded it to the Illinois Department of Employment Security website, and it said received. So I was expecting a response via mail. I never got the response, so I called up. He was shocked that I was calling so late, and I was under the understanding that it was received. So I mailed it in, and then I got a phone call back from an employee, and she explained to me the appeal process to the Board of Review and the steps that I was going to have to go to appeal this. And there were technical problems with the website, and I also was disconnected multiple times. I couldn't get through to.
Real quick there, Mr. Kitover, you understand that the website is not a way to appeal. You have to either mail it or fax it.
No, this was the.
No matter what you do, you cannot upload an appeal and have a valid timestamp from either the Postal Service or what's, we'll accept the one that's on the fax machine. But when you upload a document, there's no way to tell when you started to upload it and when the upload ended. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
It doesn't work that way. That's why we don't accept it. Not for pleadings, we can accept it for evidence, and it doesn't have the same time pleadings go, you need to follow the rules that we have for pleadings.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please file the request by mail or fax at the address or fax number listed above.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, Your Honor, can I just add that my last day was actually May 30th, 2025, and I filed a new IDS claim on July 28th, 2025. And so even though I may have... Yes, Your Honor.
We're still talking about this claim that you did file, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I preemptively filed the claim mistakenly. My last day was May 30th, 2025, Your Honor.
Okay, but I mean, we're still based on when you filed your claim, right? You filed your claim in March.
Your Honor, I wasn't actually discharged from the IRS service at that time, Your Honor. I was under a wrong impression.
Do not care. You don't have to be discharged. You don't have to be terminated. You can still be employed to file a claim. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
The fact of the matter is, Mr. Kitover, is your appeal was filed late. What that gets us to is I don't have the authority to assume any matter because it was filed late. So I'm going to have to dismiss this case because I don't have a timely filed appeal as evidence in your case file. So I don't have jurisdiction authority to assume any jurisdiction over this matter. So I'm going to dismiss this case and write a decision that says exactly that. This case was dismissed for a lack of jurisdiction because the appeal was filed late. Do you have any evidence to show that you did file your appeal following the rules in a timely manner or made an attempt to file the appeal following the rules in a timely manner? You can submit that evidence along with an appeal of my decision to the Board of Review. If you know how to do that, you have 30 days from the date that's going to be on my decision. So do you understand those appeal rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Bureau, do you understand those appeal rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for your time and your cooperation today. I appreciate everybody stay safe and for the rest of your day.
Your Honor, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
This was supposed to be the final adjudication under my understanding that I had already gone through an administrative hearing, and this was the appeal to this was supposed to be the Board of Review appeal with Katie Newsham. Newsham.
She does not work for the Board of Review. Katie Newsham is an administrative law judge just like I am. She was unavailable for the hearing today. Instead of rescheduling your hearing, I decided I'd go ahead and take it up for today, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I understand, Your Honor.
If you read the Board of Review decision says that an inadequate transcript of the prior hearing cannot be prepared for their review. So they send the case back. I know this is last.
Oh, I understand.
Whole new hearing.
Okay, I apologize, Your Honor. Thank you for explaining it.
Okay, don't worry. I'm not messing up. I know what I'm doing. I appreciate it.
Thank
you.
you.
My letter in the mail, you'll be fine. Everybody have a nice day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Wow. Can't believe my boss showed up to that. I know what I'm doing, buddy. What the fuck? Another trial? Oh my God. So I have to mail the evidence. I can't email it. Yes, Your Honor. Now it's time to file for fucking Congress writing candidate. Back to the to-do list, boys.
Truly believes that's what's going on.
Yes. Now you've
They're
answered.
killing their own people. We do not like that.
But
Don't you
loads
care
of
about
people
that
are killing.
disease, or are you just numb to this killing?
No,
of your own
but
people?
loads of people are
What about
killing
you?
their own people. Like,
What about? Well, let's talk about Iran for a second, because it's in
loads
the
of
news.
people are killing their own
Don't
people.
you care about Iran killing their own
I do
people?
care, I do care.
Okay, so then we care and you care. So what's really your question?
But what I'm asking is,
You just asked already.
what I'm
You
asking
asked
is,
that
it's
already.
not, you're not like passively assisting Iran. You're actively assisting Iran. And what I'm asking is obviously,
You mean the United States? Yes, our country.
Yeah, there's an ROI. There's an ROI on this. There's an ROI.
There's a what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but Aziz, that doesn't mean that.
Hold on, Jeff. Why are you fucking concerned?
He's not concerned.
We want Israel to help us. We're begging Israel and U.S. to help us. Why are you even like? Why are you complaining about this?
No, I'm just
get it.
Pattern recognition.
Like the voice of an angel.
That's a non-answer.
The voice of an angel.
You know what I think it is? I think you just hate Jewish people, and you don't care that IRGC is killing its people.
Wow.
Oh, Sarah, come on. There's no anti-Semitism on Clubhouse. There's no anti-Semitism on Clubhouse.
That's exactly what it is, Jeff. That's why the rat ate all these people.
97% of people on Clubhouse are not anti-Semites.
I don't know if my mom is alive or dead, Aziz. I don't know if my sister is alive or dead. Not because they don't have internet. Their cell phone towers are down, homelands are down, electricity's been out for 3-4 days, and you motherfuckers, you're not even Persian. Like, why don't you guys just shut the fuck up? We don't even want to hear you guys like talking about, oh, is it real? Is it real? Is this real? Like,
I'm not talking about Israel right now.
For the moment,
I don't know why we're talking about
Tell me which one of my family members were killed this time.
But why are we talking about Jews? Like, I never mentioned the Jews. I never mentioned the Jews. Like, I don't get, like...
No, he said, is it real? He didn't say Israel. You
Is it real?
It just shows he's always got Israel on the mind. He's arranged.
Aziz, people don't have electricity.
Must be hard to sleep at night when he's constantly thinking about it.
Darling, they've been sanctioned. They've been sanctioned for a very long time.
It's not Israel sharing the video of the dead people. It's Iran. It's IRGC. The government is sharing these videos to intimidate people. They're sharing the videos of them acting like they're in a fucking war zone, shooting at people. Let me go bring you a link. It's in Farsi. You have to go and have an AI translate it for you. But they are on the state TV. People who are in charge. They're saying we're gonna kill every single one of you guys. They are saying it. You think this is a
Yeah, that's terrible. What do you?
This is their TV. This has nothing to do with internet. It's not AI. They are sharing this stuff on the.
Do you think this is your first regime change? What are we doing here?
What does that have to do with it?
What does that mean?
Well, it has everything to do with it. I mean, that's
what does it have to do with it?
This is the first time we had an Islamic regime.
That is
yes,
the
it was fucked up. It's going to be changed. Yes.
What does it have to do with it?
So what did Mossadegh believe in? Do you know Mossadegh? What did he believe in? Who is he? Do you know? Do you know who that man is?
Well, that's going back half a century and more.
Right. That's not long. That's not a long time in the grand scheme.
It's a very long time. So what?
Well, you were alive, Normie. So
no, I wasn't alive, Azizi.
Can't have been that long.
And I have to ask about whether you're alive even right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm just about surviving.
Just about what? Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So what is the regime change?
No, I've got to push back. I think you definitely were alive while he was in power.
Yeah, he was.
No, I don't think so.
He were.
I don't think so.
It's not about what you say.
Hold on a second. Let me see when he was actually deposed. You were alive while he was alive. I assume he was in power until he.
Well,
listen. Regardless,
okay. Yeah. You missed him by a little bit, I think.
Yeah, but I said more than a little bit.
Well, you know.
But Aziz, I don't expect him to be able to do math any more than I expect him to be able to think or speak English.
Well, you know, like I'm just saying, I just don't see. I don't think Iran's going to prosper. Let's just put it that way at this point.
Why not?
It's not part of the play.
Why isn't Iran going to prosper?
Because it's not about the prosperity of Iran.
Well, that's not the answer to what it's about. Why won't it prosper?
Because it's not about.
It was deposed in 53. I don't think Norm's quite that old.
Yeah, it's about the destabilization.
Doesn't it bother you that you don't really have any thoughts, Aziz?
No, I'm telling you, it's about the destabilization, not the stabilization.
Well, wait, why won't it prosper?
Because it's not supposed to.
With who?
I'm going to say something wild. Can we Can we maybe table this idiot and let Sarah tell us about
That's
what's
what I
going on
tried
with her
before.
family?
Yeah, let's talk to somebody who actually has thoughts.
Yeah, let's talk to
It's
Sarah.
not gonna
Sarah,
cost her. It's destable.
What's going on? What are you hearing?
Jeff, I don't know. I'm not joking with you. No one is talking to anyone. No one knows what's going on. I had I have a family member that he lives in Turkey. Like he lives between Tehran and Turkey, and I know he's in Turkey because he was posting stories and stuff, right? So I messaged him yesterday, asked him if he has heard. It's like a family, distant family, but we grew up all together. We were like very close friends. So I messaged him. I said, "Have you heard of anyone? Like, have you talked to anyone?" I don't know a single person, Jeff. I do not know a single person who has talked to anybody. And so he told me his daughter was able to call him last night for like a minute or something. And she told him that people are still out. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened, meaning people haven't taken over the city or anything. And it's really bad. That's the only thing she was able to tell him. And then they lost connection. For some,
I heard from one friend whose family is in Iran, and they were able to get her, I think, last night briefly.
For like an hour, some people had their cell phone. They could call from Iran to outside directly. For just like 30 minutes or an hour.
Yeah. So some people are getting brief calls out occasionally.
I'm sorry I lost that, sir. I'm just sorry.
With God's help, your family will be safe, and Iran will also be free soon.
Inshallah.
We don't know what's going on, but they've killed a lot of people, so it's going to be really, really. Everyone's going to know someone who died. They killed more people than in 2 days. This is just for the January 10 and 11. On January 10 and 11, they have killed more people than Iran lost in a whole first year of Iran-Iraq war. This is, and there are reports. There are like Iran International says minimum 12,000. There's like BBC saying 20, 25,000. Like, I mean, the videos. There are some videos. They're like shooting everyone. They're shooting everyone. Aziz, if you scroll up, you'll see the link I put in the chat. The guy says, "Oh, we're gonna come after every single one of you guys," And they say the rioters, but you're not allowed to protest in Iran. If you're protesting right now, at any time, if you're protesting, they call it riot, and they have scheduled to kill a guy today. They're gonna hang a guy for protesting, not rioting, nothing. They don't have guns. People don't have anything. They're shooting people straight up in their face. It's so bad. It's very bad. And majority of the people that they've killed are younger than 30.
I heard they're also going into the hospitals and shooting people too.
They have so I saw a video. This was so sad. She's broken her head. Her skull is broken, and she can't go to a hospital because they're telling people not to go to hospital. But the only good thing is that I don't know how, but people are helping each other. When I say I don't know how, it's because their phones are not working. They cannot even call each other. I've heard some days people had access for internal calls like a few hours a day or something, but they purposely disconnect all of that and electricity so people cannot help each other. And then no one's screaming genocide, and this is insane. And then there was a news article on Facebook, and all they said was that the Iran International News Source says minimum 12,000 people have been killed. And then somebody's like, "Oh, Israel propaganda." Someone else is like, "When it's 60,000, let us know." And then these are the Palestinians. So it's like, if there is a propaganda as these, it's the propaganda that these Islamist countries, they play. And the only reason they say that is because the people of Iran, it's okay for them to die because the government is defending Islam. Even those who claim they're not terrorists, they shut their mouth to support Islamic terrorist, actions. Otherwise, where are these people? 53 Muslim countries, everybody has shut their mouth. Nobody has said anything. Nobody.
Well, they're Shia, so it's like the Pope doesn't speak for the Protestants, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Is this a real guy in the chat? He's a troll, right?
I think he's a fake, personally.
Yeah, he's a fake, yeah. He must be someone else.
52 friends. You knew here, friend? You knew here, big guy? You jumped in here, really, with 53 friends? My guess is you're at least somebody we know, and you're definitely a troll.
It's not an unusual take. I've heard people have that opinion.
He's three friends. He's not fucking...
No, but it's not because of that. It's because the whole vibe, the whole where he speaks.
The big
and whatever.
PTR picture, all the whole fucking...
Yeah, it's clearly... Is this people that try to be like Jews so they can pretend to be Jews so they can say anything, but they actually are trying to mock it.
Yeah, it's like Jews for suicide, God forbid.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to take your name because he's a cunt.
My cousin. I'm getting very impatient about Trump doing something.
Yes, I know. It's
too long.
I see lots of planes in the area.
Like, what kind of planes are they? Because the airspace for commercial planes.
I see some military airplanes around the area near Iran, like really close.
You see a lot of militaries?
6 military
planes, huh? Yeah, I don't even think this is. Oh wait. Okay, no. But there is a lot less traffic in the air today. Right now.
Oh yeah, but there's still military aircraft.
You know what? I don't think any of. No. I don't know about the military. No, there is a flight going from Shur to Iran right now.
I just got off the phone with my cousin right now in Greece, Athens. There's a huge protest going on. He's there.
Where? They were able to call you?
Greece. In Greece.
Oh, Greece. Pro-Iran protest?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, the protest outside Iran has been huge. I've never seen anything like this. It's been huge. It's done though. They're gonna be gone.
There was 50,000 people marching in Toronto.
50,000 in LA yesterday.
3 days ago. Yeah, but where's the Greta Thunbergs? Where's the Susan Sarandons? Where's the Mark Ruffalo's? Where's everybody? Where's the outcry? Where